been warming up, so approach with caution. Yeah, up the heat, no cold feet, I'm locked in. Go against me, you might need a coffin. Where's the competition? Cause I don't see none. Matter of fact, there'll be none, so y'all can run the rerun. Show you how to work, I roll the sleeves up on my shirt. Built in front of the ground, I had to rise from out the dirt.
Watch this, I'ma show you how I do it. Like a pro, gotta hustle, get through it. No sweat, look good when I'm moving. I'ma rise, and this a minute. Watch this, I'ma show you how I do it. Like a pro, gotta hustle, get through it. No sweat, look good when I'm moving. I'ma rise, and this a minute.
I know what I'm doing, I'm clean when I'm moving. And I've been on the wave, so you know that I'm fluid. When it comes to the team, I divide even. Eyes open and mind dreaming, I'm still scheming. I see trophies in the future, maybe even sooner, so I'm moving like a rumor. Showing how to work, I roll the sleeves up on my shirt. Built it from the ground, I had to rise from out the dirt.
Watch this, I'ma show you how I do it. Like a pro, gotta hustle, get through it. No sweat, look good when I'm moving. I'ma rise, and this a minute. Watch this, I'ma show you how I do it. Like a pro, gotta hustle, get through it. No sweat, look good when I'm moving. I'ma rise, and this a minute.
What's going on, everybody? It is another beautiful Sunday out here in Atlanta, Georgia. Let me tell y'all something. The sky fell out last night, okay? It was a cool, overcast day, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, y'all, the sky fell out. It was a rainy night in Georgia. So dramatic, so dramatic. And it was dramatic because I was driving in it, y'all. I was driving, and the people out here like to put their hazard lights on for some reason whenever it starts raining. I don't know who told them that helps anything. It actually makes it more confusing because you don't know if people are putting on their brakes, turn signals, or whatever, but that's what they do. So getting through the rain to get home, I could not, it just seemed like, I don't know what it is about when it's raining really hard and you driving. It seems like your house, no matter where it is 3 times further away. I don't get that. But anyway, I made it. The rain has subsided. It is a beautiful day out here in Atlanta, Georgia. How is it where you are? Hopefully you are having a great day, y'all. Look, you have tuned into the Native Tribe Show. All right. I am your host. They call me Native. That's what they call me, okay? And speaking of calling, all right, we're gonna go over a call where Ernesto Williams, you know they say he nasty. He apparently had a sit down with his lawyers all the way back in 2023, and his lawyers told him to shut the up. Okay. They said you talking too much on this here phone, and you talking to that girl, and it's hurting your case. Now this was in 2023. Can y'all tell me why Nesto ain't shut the up until 2025? I think he got a problem, y'all. I think he got a problem. I'm just saying. I mean, I can't diagnose the man, all right? I can't give you an official diagnosis, all right? But I can say that I think he got a problem. Don't it seem like he got a problem? I'm just saying. If your lawyer told you that that some kind of way, if you keep talking on the phone, the chances of you becoming a free person versus an incarcerated person goes down. Would you shut the up? I'm just saying. It just seemed to me like I would shut the up. I'm just saying. That's what us regular folks would do. Okay. All right. So we're going to talk about it all. We're going to break it down. We're going to laugh at it. We're going to do what we do. Y'all know how we do over here at the Native Tribe Show. The other thing that you know we do is we also welcome in everybody that is here. Everybody that decided to join us today on this beautiful Sunday. So let's see who that would be. First up, I got April B. Says, good afternoon, Native and Tribe. Welcome. Kick off your shoes and let's enjoy this wonderful Sunday. Indeed, April B. Thank you so much for being here. I do appreciate that. I got Galatians 6-7 here who says, good morning. Hello, Galatians 6-7. How are you? Hope you are doing well. Mai Tai is in the building. Hello, Mai Tai. Says, hi, Native and Tribe. Hello, Mai Tai. How are you? Beauty is her name is also here. Hello, Beauty is her name. Delicate Dale in the house says, happy Sunday, everyone. Happy Sunday to you too, Delicate Dale. Mai Tai is also here. Hello, Mai Tai. How are you? Nesto Shaka Shuffle Walk of Shame is in the building. Hello, Nesto Shaka Shuffle Walk of Shame. Thank you so much for being here. I do appreciate you. Nesto Shaka Shuffle Walk of Shame, of course, is a part of that notorious Native Tribe Urban Media Mod Squad, handling all things behind the scenes. I do appreciate that. I got Shay B in the house who says, "Greetings, Native Tribe mods and chat. Let's have some good, clean, knee slapping, hard laughs and maintain respect for each other." Thank you so much for that message, Shay B. I do appreciate that. Now, I don't know about good, clean knee slapping. Now, we might get a little dirty, all right? Might get a little dirty, depending on what we got to talk about, Shay B. But thank you so much, Shay B. Of course, also a part of that notorious Native Tribe Urban Media Mod Squad. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Mary Willis is in the house. Says, "Good afternoon, Native and Tribe." Thank you so much. Bullet Holes is in the house. Says, "Hey, everyone. Hello, hello, hello." Baptize That Ass is in the building. Hello, hello, hello. Ms. Nisi is in the house. Says, "Good afternoon, Native and Tribe, and the best mods around." Indeed, they are. I got Jane in the house. Says, "Hola all." Hello, Jane. How are you? My Retta in here says, "My brother, Native and family. I have drinks and snacks for the furnace and the pit. No snacks allowed at the pit." Okay. Diva Shani is in the house. Says, "Hi, Native and Native Tribe and mods." Hello, Diva Shani. How are you? I also got Mimi in the house who says, "Hey," and has flames in the chat. Hello, hello, hello. You Sound Clown in the cloud says, "Hey, y'all. Happy Sunday." Hello, hello, hello. Miss 215 representing Philly, Philly, Philly in the house says, "Hello," with flames in the chat. Tanya B here is here and says, "Hey, y'all. How are you?" Tamara is in the building, says, "Happy Sunday, everyone." Hello, Tamara. How are you? No 504 is in the house and says, "Happy Sunday, Native and Tribers." Well, hello to you. Hope you are doing well. Tanya B here, indeed be here, says, "Hey, y'all. Hello, hello, hello." Justin's mom is in the building, says, "Good afternoon, Native and Tribe." Hello, Justin's mom. How are you? Blue Sapphire is in the building, says, "Happy Strawberry Sunday, Native mods and tribe." Hello, Blue Sapphire. How are you doing on this Sunday? Veteran Broad is here. Says, "Hey, Native from Connecticut. How is everything going up there in Connecticut? Hopefully it's sunny and bright. I don't know what kind of weather y'all have up there. I have no idea." Tisha's here and says, "Hey, Native and Tribe." Hello, Tisha, how are you? Miss Kim is in the house and says, "Happy Sunday, Native and Tribe." Denise Marie is in the building, says, "Happy Sunday, Native and Chat." Hello, hello, hello. Number 12 online is in the house, says, "Good afternoon, Native and Tribe. How are you doing?" Sherry Berry is in the building, says, "Good morning, Tribe." Hello, Sherry Berry. How is everything going with you? Okay. Miss Kim says, "I saw Sinners. It was amazing. The most brilliant film I've seen in a while." Miss Kim, guess what? We are going to do our Sinners breakdown this week coming. Okay. We are going to do a Sinners breakdown. We are going to talk about the movie, the symbolism. We're going to talk about the filmmaker, what everything represented from the twins on down to the crucifixes. We're going to talk about it all, Miss Kim. Okay. So I'm glad that you enjoyed the movie. If you have not seen the movie, I'm giving everybody a chance to go see it before we talk about it, because I really want to talk about it. I really, really do. Ella B is in the house, says, "Hey, everyone. Hey, Native. I enjoy listening to your awesome voice." Oh, Ella B, thank you so much. I do appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Miss Kim is in the house, says, "Good afternoon, Native and Tribe. Tomorrow is my birthday, so I might be in the bushes for most of the show." Kim F, happy early birthday to you. Hope you are doing well on your birthday, and I hope you get everything that you want. Do you want a cake? Because my preference is buttercream. Okay, I'm just saying. I'm not trying to make this about me. Okay, I'm just saying that I like buttercream. All right, I don't know what kind of cake you like. Maybe you like chocolate cake. Maybe you like that confetti thing. I don't know. But for me, it's buttercream. Just saying. I'm just saying. But happy early birthday, Kim F. Hope you enjoy your day. Say J is in the house. Says, "Hi, everyone. Hi, Native and Tribe." Hello, Say J. How are you? Hope you are doing well. I got Salt and Pepper Tresses in the house. Says, "Happy Sunday, Native and Tribe." Well, happy Sunday to you, Salt and Pepper Tresses. Hope you are doing well today. Patty is in the house, says, "Hey, Native and Tribe." Hello, Petty Patty. How are you? Hope you are doing well. Miss HLS has decided to join us on this Sunday afternoon. Hello, Ms. HLS, how are you? Bevy C is in the building. Says, good afternoon, Native and Tribe. Well, good afternoon to you, Bevy C. Hope you are doing well. Natasha Razor Glam is in the house. Said, Nesto is dumb. That's why. He is slow. He is indeed slow. Indeed, you right, Natasha Razor Glam. That is a good answer. I can't dispute that answer at all. Jackie is in the house and says, hello, hello, hello. How are you doing, Jackie? How are you? Bevy C says, why have a lawyer if you're not going to listen to him? Makes no sense. It doesn't, Bevy C. And what makes even less sense is the fact that you would listen to a non-lawyer, aka Sonia Waller Durham Jackson III, right? Right?
Y'all sound clown.
Hmm.
That sound like a clown statement.
He would rather listen to clown statements, Bevy C, than to listen to somebody who actually went into law, okay, and actually practices law every day. You know, so Bevy C, we can't make sense of it. We really can't. But this is what this man has chosen to hang his future on. Okay. So I don't know. We'll talk about it. Sonia B in the house says, happy Sunday, Native in chat. Hello, Sonia B. How are you? Hope you are doing well. Let's see. Ms. Ree is in the house. Says, good afternoon, lovely people. Hello, Ms. Ree. How are you? Jay Blake is in the building. Says, hey, Native in chat. Happy Sunday. Hello, Jay Blake. How are you doing? Glad you could be here today. Sonia's Boots is in the house. Says, hey, Native and Tribe. Hello, Sonia's Boots. How are you? I got Kind and Fun in the building. Says, hi, Native and Tribe. Hello, Kind and Fun. How are you doing? Let's see. Tanya B here says, ain't nothing clean about Nesto. Nope, nope, there sure isn't. Nothing clean at all. Husbum is in the house. Says, hello, everyone. Hello, Husbum. How are you? Leo Lady is in the building. Says, hello, Native and everyone. Happy Sunday. Hello, hello, hello. Bevy C says, non-native, don't be naughty. I don't know how to be naughty, Bevy C, so you don't have that to worry about, okay? I'm good over here. I'm good. Granny the Great is in the building, says, good afternoon, Native and Tribe. Hello, Granny the Great. How are you? Sweet Peasy is in the building. Says, hello, all, and happy Sunday. I've got my mimosa and snacks ready for a good laugh. All right, all right. We're going to give you a good laugh then. How about that? Shark Tank Life in the building with flames in the chat. Hello, Shark Tank Life. How are you? Mimi is in the house. Hello, Mimi. Did I speak to you, Mimi? I be forgetting. I do. I do forgetting. Bevy C says, yeah, the weather's pretty dreary here in Philly. So that means that whatever that storm is probably headed up your way, Bevy C, because ugh. It started dreary and then it just bottomed out. It just bottomed out. Justin's mom says, ugly and raining in my part of Michigan. Ooh, 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 ooh. Well, look, the sun will come out tomorrow. Okay, like Annie used to say. Dion's Breaks got flames in the chat. Hello, Dion's Breaks. How are you? Salt and Pepper Trusted says Sunday menu is white beans. Okay, you got me at beans. Y'all know I love beans. Okay, so Salt and Pepper Trusted says that today on the menu is white beans, stuffed turkey wings. How you stuff a turkey wing? Y'all be doing stuff. Y'all be doing stuff to food I ain't never heard. How you stuff a turkey wing? I gotta look that up, salt and pepper tresses. Damn. Okay, all right, all right. Let me get through this menu. Okay. I got white beans, stuffed turkey wings, honey butter cornbread, elderberry lemonade. Look, salt and pepper tresses. Look, you now, here's what I'm saying to you, okay? With that menu, you already know. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Don't be acting like you don't know me, okay? When you hear, uh-huh. Because that's that kind of menu that's gonna make me pull up, okay? And then, uh-huh. So just act like you know me. Open the door. Just save me a plate, salt and pepper tresses. That's all I'm asking. Because everything on this sounds amazing. My God. I'm curious about stuffed turkey wings, though. Y'all heard of that? I mean, is it just me that I never heard of a stuffed turkey wing? Is that just me? Okay. I don't know, but that sounds amazing, salt and pepper tresses. Thank you for sharing that and making me jealous. Okay. Um, Ms. Reed says heading to see Centers this evening to celebrate my birthday. Okay, Ms. Reed. Happy belated birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. You hear that vibrato? You hear that right there? I worked on that all weekend. Happy birthday, Ms. Reed. Happy birthday to you and all my May birthdays and everybody celebrating today, tomorrow, or yesterday. Happy birthday, Ms. Reed. Enjoy Centers. I think that you will. All right. Shirley Disho Man says, good afternoon, everyone. Done with classes, got a 4.0 grade point average, so it's all good in the neighborhood. I saw Centers too. Shirley Disho Man got that 4.0. All right. Y'all, give it up, man. Black excellence in the house. Shirley, this your man. Yes, indeed. So proud of you, Shirley, for this your man for that 4.0 grade point average. I'm glad that you saw Centers. Thank you for being here. But yo, that is an accomplishment. That is an absolute accomplishment. As a matter of fact, let me give it up one more time. Yes, indeed. See, it's education that is important. See, let me tell you what Shirley Disho Man didn't do. Okay, this is what she didn't do. She didn't say college. College. I ain't went to no motherfucking college. I went to Job Co. That's not what she did. Okay. Shirley Disho Man took her education seriously, unlike some incarcerated people that we know of named her Nesto Williams. You know, they say he nasty. So congratulations again, Shirley Disho, man. You have done the damn thing, and we are proud of you. All right. Veteran Broad said, lots of rain, 7 degrees, sun out finally. Oh man, I'm glad that you got some sun because I'm glad to see the sun myself. JMM55 is in the house and says, happy Sunday. Hello, hello, hello. How are you? Let's see. Kim F said, I like chocolate cake. Chocolate cake is cool, but ain't nothing like that buttercream. I don't know who came up with that. Butter and cream. I don't know who did that, but that is some good stuff. But Kim F, I like a good chocolate cake every now and then too. So I'm with you on that. I'm with you. I'm with you. Justin's mom said, I like cake, period. I like cake, period. I hear you. I hear you. Tracy's in the house and says, hello, everyone. Hello, Tracy. How are you? Chica's in the building, says, hello, hello, hello. Hello, Chica. How are you? Shay B is reminding everybody to like the video. If you like the video, please like the video. You see what I did there? Like the video if you like the video. Thank you so much for the reminder, Shay B. I do appreciate that. GC is in the house, says, hi, Native Tribe, Sexy Smokey, and the Three Stooges, Bald Headed, Ponytail, Dumb Dre, Dumb and Dion, and the Dumbass Nesto. My. That's a lot of dumb going on. Okay, that's a lot of dumb, GC. That's a lot of dumb. But you are accurate with that. Okay, all right. Jet Black Straight's in the building, says, good afternoon, Native and Tribe. Hello, hello, hello. Tase them hoes is in the building. Tase them hoes is in the building. Okay, that's not just me. Okay, saying tase them hoes. That's the name that they chose, is tase them hoes. Okay, I'm not saying tase them hoes. If you got a taser, okay, Native Tribe is not saying tase them hoes. Okay, because I don't know who you would consider a hoe and why you would be tasing them. But I'm just saying the name of the person is tase them hoes is in the house. Okay, don't get it confused. Put your taser away right now. If you got your taser out and you see some hoes, don't do it. I'm not telling you to do that. I'm saying that the person named tase them hoes is in the house. Okay? Okay. All right. Just want to make sure we didn't get hoes tased for no apparent reason. All right. Hold on. What happened? Ms. HLS said, Native Tribe Urban Media, did you see the Donna King crash out the other night? You talking about Sylvia? If you're talking about Sylvia, the answer is no. No. But please feel free to enlighten me or tell me what all the hell happened. Because I did not. I did not. on purpose, by the way. Reefs and Muffs Moms is in the house. It's Good Sunday, Native and Tribe. Hello, Reefs and Muffs Mom. How are you? Baby C says, I'm with you, Native stuffed turkey wing. Sounds interesting. Don't it, though? I'm kind of curious. Salt and Pepper Tresses be having a good menu. Whenever Salt and Pepper Tresses shares her food ideas and menus and stuff, it always be something that's intriguing. So, Baby C, I want to know more. I do. I really, really do. Jane says, ooh, I just looked up stuffed turkey wings. Looks yummy. Says it's a traditional Creole recipe. Okay. All right. I missed that one. I missed that one. Sure did. Let's see. Salt and Pepper Trust says it's a 337 Creole thing. Okay, 337. I ain't mad at it. Not at all. Not at all. Justin's mom said, well, someone has been practicing his singing. You sounded very nice. Thank you, Justin's mom. I appreciate that. I keep trying to tell y'all I actually can sing. Anyway, just Janetta says, after hearing Ashley Darby sing, Native is not so bad. I don't know who Ashley Darby is, but thank you, Janetta, for the compliment, I guess. I guess that was a compliment, I guess. Dr. Charles in the house says, good morning, Native and Tribe. Well, hello, Dr. Charles. How are you? Hope you are doing well today. Let's see. Who else do we have here? Dr. Charles. Dr. Charles says, saying Native, let them use you. Okay, thank you, Dr. Charles. I will let them use me. Okay, all right. Okay, I will do that. DC Lively said, I'm surprised he got into Job Code. Can you get turned away from Job Code? Can Job Code turn you away? I don't know. I really don't know that much about Job Corps. I really don't. Queen Black is in the building. Hello. Hold on. Ms. HLS said, you don't like that whipped icing is what you're saying. That crap is trash. That whipped icing is like, it's not there, Ms. HLS. It's like, if you're going to have icing on a cake, have icing on a cake. Like the whipped icing, it's like if it's ready to float away or something and it's just cake. And I'm not eating cake for it to just like be light. I'm eating cake because I want cake. So the whipped icing is no, don't do me that. Don't do me that. I'm gonna feel like there was no love put into that thought if you give me whipped icing. Give me the buttercream, all right? I'll worry about the calories and all. I'll worry about that later. All right. I'll go walk around Stone Mountain or go to the gym or whatever I gotta do. But if I'm eating cake, give me cake, Ms. HLS. That's all I'm saying. I don't want nothing whipped. I don't need Cool Whip on my cake. All right. I put Cool Whip on other stuff. Okay. But I'm not going to put Cool Whip on a cake and then spread it out and call it icing. It's not the same thing. You about to make me go on a tangent, Ms. HLS. But no, I don't like that whip stuff. No. JMM55 said red velvet is my favorite, but pretty much like all cakes. Let me tell you something, JMM55. People that tell you they can make a red velvet cake can't. 9 times out of 10, they can't, unless they are over the age of 60. All right. These new Gen X, Gen Z, Gen Y, Gen C, A, B, D, whoever these generation people are that be making red velvet cakes, all it's going to do is make you mad, JMM55. These people cannot make red velvet cakes. You have to be of a certain age. Okay. Or you have to have someone of a certain age show you how to make a red velvet cake. All these internet bakers that come out here and make red velvet cakes that taste like chocolate cakes, okay, even though a red velvet cake is technically a chocolate cake, right? It's not supposed to taste like a chocolate cake. It's supposed to taste like a red velvet cake. And if you've had a red velvet cake, I don't know why y'all got me on these cake tangents right now, but if you've had a red velvet cake that is made by an expert of a certain age, you know what a red velvet cake is supposed to taste like. And it ain't supposed to taste like a chocolate cake. Okay? All right? Let me just dial it back because y'all done got me amped up on these cakes. Okay, I take this serious. Okay? All right? Just saying, JMM55. I love a red velvet cake, but boy, these people be making me mad when they come slicing up that dry ass chocolate ass cake and calling it red velvet just because y'all done put some red dye in it. Oh my God. Anyway, JMM55. I say all that to say that I love red velvet cake too, okay? All right. Sleepy Libra's in the house and says, hey, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. All right. Sonia B says, I'm having a slow moment, family. Can somebody tell me how to join the membership, please? There should be a few membership links. If one of my mods could please drop the membership link in for Sonia B, that would be terrific. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Sonia B, for your support of the channel. All right. Pen Pal 50 is in the house. Says happy Sunday, everyone. Hello, Pen Pal 50. How are you? I'll be off in a minute. Is here. It says how to check native. There's nothing like a cream cake. Yeah, no, I'll be off in a minute. There's nothing like, look, that buttercream is it's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Okay. Taze them hoes said she liked that name better. Legacy Moon told you to change it to Taze them hoes. Okay. All right. Okay. Ms. HLS says she cussed out everybody. No, not the you can't cuss on my channel lady. Not her. Not infamous Sylvia who says that you can't cuss on her channel. I know she ain't cuss everybody out. Not the Christian, not the I forgive, not the I live by the code of the Bible, but yet can't forgive people. Not her. No, Ms. HLS, you must have went to the wrong channel. You must have been at somebody else's channel. Because I know infamous Sylvia, the Bible toting Christian, did not cuss everybody out. The one that quotes scriptures that are out of context and only fits her needs. No, she didn't cuss everybody out, Ms. HLS. I refuse to believe that, Ms. HLS. Not her. Not rerun. Mary Willis says, Native, I've been to church today. Be nice. Okay, Mary Willis, I'll be nice. I'll be nice. I just listening. I just listening. Okay. All right. I just listening. Ms. Mad About Music says, good Sunday afternoon, Native and Tribe. Thank you so much, Ms. Mad About Music. So glad that you could be here. Them folks is in the building. Says, hey, y'all. Hello, hello, hello. Them folks, how are you? Shirley's divorce, Shirley Dish Your Man says, thank you, Native and Tribe. One semester done, 4 more to go. Take it one step at a time, Shirley Dish Your Man. One step at a time. You are doing amazing, and we are proud of you. Pen Pal 50 said, I can't stand whipped icing. Yes, buttercream. I mean, what are they doing, Pen Pal 50? Who thought of that? Was that like a cheapskate move? Like somebody was like, you know what? The cheapest way to frost this cake is just to get some of this Cool Whip and just spread it all around. Is that what happened, Pen Pal 50? I don't know. Delicate Dale said, I bet you know colleges turned him down because he ain't applied to none, Delicate Dale. Delicate Dale, you can't get turned down if you don't apply. That's very good. That is very good. Denise Marie said, I usually scrape off the icing. That's why I usually skip cake. Well, Denise Marie, it's okay. It's okay. I understand. Not everybody likes cake, okay? Scraping off the icing, however, should be a crime. It should be a criminal act, okay? Denise Marie, I'm just saying. I'm not a lawmaker, all right? It's not what I do, all right? I'm over here on the YouTube with the Native Tribe Show. I don't make laws, but it should be against the law to scrape off the icing, all right? When you go to a party, if just see if they can arrange to have like a pound cake for you or some cornbread, okay? Because if the icing is there for a reason, Denise Marie. You see what I'm saying? It's there for a reason. It's a cake. That's what a cake is. Now, you can have pound cake and you can have a sponge cake. You can do all these other cake variations, but a birthday cake is supposed to be icing. It's just supposed to be there. But Denise Marie, I understand. I understand. Okay. All right. When I have my big Native Tribe party, I will make arrangements to have a non-iced cake just for you. Okay. Make It Rain, NYC, Florida is here. Says happy Sunday, Native, Sunday Fun Day, Native and Tribe. Hello, hello, hello. Shirley's divorce finally is in the building. Says, hey, chat, I'm late. Just got out of church. Hope you had a good service, and thank you for being here, Shirley's Divorce Finally. I do appreciate that. Attitude and Tylenol is in the building. Says, hey there, I heard whip. Attitude and Tylenol is Cool Whip. Okay? That's what you heard. You heard Cool Whip. All right? Calm down. Calm down, Attitude and Tylenol. All right? Mary Willis told us that we had to be good today because it's Sunday. All right? B. Ann is in the building. Says, good Sunday afternoon, Native and Tribe. Hello, B. Ann. How are you? Myretta said cream cheese icing is good. You're right. It is. Cream cheese icing is good. I will not. It's the whipped icing, Myretta. Oh my. It should be. That again should be against the law. Okay. Jet Black Straight said red velvet is my fave too, but it can't have too much cocoa. Oh, may I'll eat the whole thing. Yeah, Jet Black Straight. If you get somebody that can make a red velvet, it is incredible. Red velvet cakes but people start saying they don't like red velvet cake because they've had bad red velvet cakes. And that's not fair to red velvet because these people make these dry, nasty chocolate red cakes instead of red velvet. It's called velvet. When have you ever had dry, rough velvet? My God, it's supposed to be smooth and creamy and good and all those things, Jet Black Straight. I don't know. I don't know. Um, Attitude and Tano said, "Oh, y'all talking about cake? This millennium makes an amazing red velvet cake." Yeah, well, I don't know about that. I don't know. They got to show me something, okay? I am Coco is in the house. Says, "Hey, Native and Chat. Hello, I am Coco. How are you?" Pen Pal 50 says, "Red velvet cake is my husband's favorite cake," and he says, "If it's burgundy, it's not right." Pen Pal 50, I done seen some horrible, horrible red velvet cakes. But he's right. If it's velvet, I mean, if it's burgundy, you ain't doing it right. It's got to be red. Okay. I am cocoa said not chocolate. It's red velvet. When they put too much damn cocoa in it, it becomes a chocolate cake. And look, I am cocoa. They don't know the difference. They be just serving it and just be as happy. You know what I mean? Yeah, Jet Black Straight. They put too much cocoa in it. It just becomes like my cousin made one time, and it was literally a red chocolate cake. And that's not the way that you make a red velvet cake. I don't know. My mama makes an amazing red velvet cake. As a matter of fact, she puts so much into it that she hardly ever makes it because that's how much work it is to actually make a red velvet cake. It's a lot. It's a lot that goes into it. So it upsets me. Okay. Ms. HLS said, I thought a red velvet cake was a chocolate cake with red dye. Technically, you're right, Ms. HLS, but it doesn't have as much cocoa in it as a chocolate cake. So it has its own flavor, right? And that red coloring indicates that it's not a chocolate cake, but it does have cocoa in it. So, some people just overdo it. Jackson Tabasco is in the house. Hello, Jackson Tabasco. How are you? Thank you so much for dropping the membership link. I do appreciate that. Sonia B. Yes. Okay. So Sonia B got the membership link. Awesome. All right. Beann says, Lord, y'all talking about cake and been trying so bad not to make or buy one. Beann, what did we tell you before? We had this discussion before. Okay. Beann, go ahead and get you some cake. Okay. All this trying to resist the cake, just stop it. Stop it. You only live once. I mean, you live every day, but I'm just saying, Beann, go on and knock it out. Go on and get you some cake, Beann. It's Sunday, okay? It is Strawberry Sunday. Put some strawberries on that cake, okay? One Pepsi's in the house. Says happy Sunday, Native and Tribe. Hello, hello, hello. How are you? And looky here. Sonia B has become a member, everybody. Everybody get that. Sonia B. Thank you so much, Sonia B, for joining the tribe. I do appreciate you growing the tribe as this family grows and grows and grows. I do appreciate you so much. But you know that we don't have many rules around here, Sonia B. The only thing that we say is that if you're going to come in and put your feet up. Just take your shoes off first. That's the only thing I ask. But Sonya B, thank you so much for becoming a member. Everybody, give it up for our newest member. It is Sonya B. Indeed. Indeed. Talks with TK is in the house. Hello. Reef from us mom said I'm going to a piece of cake today for a cupcake. Okay, enjoy that. Reef from us mom, if there is a nothing but cake around you, I'm just saying. Why not? Why not? You know what I mean? Chanel Heslop is in the house and says, "Hey, native and Tribe." Hello, Chanel Heslop, all the way in South Africa. How are you? DMV 703 says, "Hey, Native and Tribe, happy Sunday Fun Day. How are you? How you are doing well?" Them folks say, "Oh, I missed that because I don't go over there unless we go as a group." y'all go to Sylvia channel as a group. That is hilarious, yo. That is hilarious. BN said, infamous Sylvia is now using the Silverback song and Gorilla in her opening on her second channel. Yeah, so BN, so guess what? We can call her a Silverback now. We can call her that because you can't tell me that you can say something about you that I can't say something about you, right? It's fair game. It is fair game. So all the bluster about I'm not a silverback and I'm gonna sue and you guys are being mean and now she's using silverback. Oh, it's fair game. Personally, I never called her a silverback. I called her Slowrilla, but and I never stopped. Let me just say that because I don't believe the bullshit about a lawyer. I just don't because I don't think she can afford one. But because how you gonna retain a lawyer, but you gotta beg for people to send you to New York? It makes no sense. But I will say that yeah, it's on. It's on. Pen Pal 50 said, yes, she cussed everyone out and she called Legacy Moon out by name. I don't know why she didn't call me out by name. I would love for that to be a thing. But you know, but whatever. It is what it is. She's crazy. And we'll talk about her later. Salt and Pepper Trusted says butter pecan cake with buttercream icing. What is a butter pecan cake? No, you know what? I have heard of a butter pecan cake. I just haven't had one in a long time. Salt and Pepper Trust says, what are you doing down there? What are you doing? My goodness. My goodness. Jackson Tabasco says she called them all kind of bitches. She did? I'm gonna have to write her a letter of some sort. Sonya's Boot says, why y'all let her go to NYC with her head looking like that? What else was it supposed to look like? I'm just saying. Chi-Town Libra Mode said, did you call that lady rerun? I did call that lady rerun. I did. Because she hasn't ranked up to Shirley yet. All right. She's still at rerun level. We ain't got to Shirley. Trina 2 says, happy Sunday, everyone. By the way, my mother can make a proper mean red velvet cake, but I cannot. Trina 2, the important part is that you acknowledge that you can't do it, right? You're not in there trying to front and put out a chocolate cake with red dye in it. Okay. And shout out to your mother for being able to make a proper red velvet cake. Thank you, Trina 2. Thank you. Let's see. Say Jay said, I thought of it. I can't do buttercream icing. Whipped icing is the best. Say Jay, you know what? I'm not even. Say Jay, you know what? See, you know what I was about to do? I was about to play the You Sound Clown. Okay. I was about to play it, but I'm not gonna play it, CJ. I'm not gonna play it because that's your preference. That's what you like. But I cannot imagine liking whipped icing over butter. I just can't imagine it, CJ. I just can't. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Let's see. Boho Hobo says, hello, everyone. Dipping in from the shadows to say hi. My auntie Thelma made the best red velvet cake. RIP auntie. Well, RIP Auntie Thelma. And it's those memories of those things that people did for us back, back in the day. Those memories keep us alive, right? Those memories keep a smile on our face. I bet every time you think about red velvet cake or you taste a good red velvet cake, you think about your Auntie Thelma. So, Boho Hobo, thank you so much for sharing that memory with us. Rest in peace to your auntie. And thank you for being here today, dropping out of the clouds. I do appreciate that. Ms. Mad About Music said, y'all making me crave cake. Cake is my weakness. Go and get you some cake. Go on, get you some cake. Sonya B said icing is too sweet. I prefer the whipped cream. I don't know how y'all do this. I don't know how y'all do this. Denise Marie said cut cornbread is gross. Denise Marie, now, Denise Marie, we are not starting out on a good foot today. You know how I feel about, cornbread. You know how I feel about cornbread. Stop it. Stop it. Boho Hobo says, oh hell, I'm going to go to the store today to get me some fixings for cake. I won't be able to rest if I don't. Cake is the bomb. It just is. It just is. Ms. HLS says, if you like nothing but cake, try that caramel churro cake. It's so good. I haven't been there in forever, though, Ms. HLS. I really haven't. I think the last time I was at Nothing But Cakes was around my birthday in September of last year. I think. It might even been before that. I don't know. Kim F says, but yellow cake with chocolate icing. My mom used to make those, and I request that for my birthday. And I ain't gonna lie, Kim F, you on to something. Yellow cake with chocolate icing is amazing. It really is. I got to give you that. I got to give you that. Okay. Happy to be happy in the building. Says greetings and happy Cinco de Mayo. Happy to be happy. Let me tell you something. Happy to be happy. Now I'm usually on certain things. Okay. Now Cinco de Mayo, I don't know nothing about. Okay. I ain't never celebrated it. I ain't never been out. I don't, it just goes over my head every year. It just does. I don't know why. But happy to be happy. Thank you so much for being here. I do appreciate that. The Duchess is in the house. It's good Sunday afternoon, y'all. Hello, the Duchess. How are you? Hope you are doing well. Boho Hobo says, I broke a whole glass canister of cocoa yesterday. Oh my God. And my apartment still smells like chocolate. It ain't bad either. Look, I guess it could be worse, right? You could have broken worse things with worse smells, right? So now when you walk in, it's just chocolatey. That's okay. That's not bad. I hope you cleaned it all up. I hope you got it all up. You know, but now I wonder how long it's gonna smell like that. But now I'm curious. How long is it gonna smell like chocolate? I'm just curious. I got the one and only Diva Ray in the house. Hello, Diva Ray. How are you? Paradise in Mexico is also in the house. Is red velvet cake supposed to taste like red velvet? Is a flavor. That's correct. That is correct. It's not supposed to taste like a chocolate cake. Attitude and Tylenol says it takes hours to make a good red velvet cake or a pound cake. It does. It takes a long time. I watched my mama make a red velvet cake one time, y'all. I ain't know what the hell was going on. I didn't. I didn't. But it took her forever. It did. Boho Hobo says, I'm definitely making a cake today. Enjoy that cake and come back and let us know how it was, please. Sonya B says, my mom used to make red velvet cakes from scratch. When I saw vinegar goes in the recipe, I was thrown all the way off. It's a no for me. Sonya B, let me tell you something. Whatever goes into a red velvet cake, whatever is supposed to be there, oh my God. Oh my God. It is, oh. Y'all gonna make me go out and get one. Mary Willis says you all need to try a crunch cake, family. I've had a crunch cake once, and you're right. It is good. It is really, really good. Siri Colette in the building says, good afternoon. Happy Strawberry Sunday. Happy Strawberry Sunday to you. Hope you are having a good Sunday. Siri Colette says vinegar is needed for the red velvet cake. Absolutely. Absolutely. Mimi says nothing but cake is the spot. Nothing but cake is heaven. It is heaven. My God. Jennifer says, hello, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. Sonya B said, can't wrap my head around that part. You know what? Sometimes we don't question it. We just do what the recipe say. Okay. Sometimes we don't question it. JMM55 said, I don't mess with Mammy Fresh's channel. Nosy, but not quite that nosy to watch that weirdness. I can't watch her either. I can't watch her beg and then justify begging. It's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. Okay. Ms. Mad About Music says, Native Tribe Urban Media, she's too scared to call you out. She should be. I ain't gonna lie, Ms. Mad About Music. She should be. She should be afraid to call me out. Okay. I mean, she can if she wants to. But she should be, because there will be a look. I will bring hellfire down on her like she ain't never heard of. The whole internet, if the whole internet hadn't heard of her as of yet, they will hear of her when I get done. Okay, so she has every right to be afraid. I don't blame her at all. I don't blame her at all. Dr. Charles says, no, I don't like her, but she's not an ape and do not insult the gorilla. She's yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Dr. Charles. You're right. You're right. You're right. Dion's Break said red velvet cake is overrated. Come on. Overrated how? People like it or you don't like it. It ain't overrated. I happen to like it. I mean, it's good. It's good. It's good stuff. Good stuff. Let's see. I know that's right. JMM55 said, not the Bible told Nesto praying lady calling people bitches. She's so fake. She is. She is. Shirley's divorce finally said my kids want to hear the warm-up. Y'all want me to do the warm-up? Y'all want me to do the warm-up? Because I can. I can do the warm-up, Shirley divorce finally. Don't worry about that. I got you covered. Boho Hobo said cake is healthy for me today. I have to leave the house to get eggs, and that's exercise. The process, right? It's the process. It is the process. Michi3 said that one is too sweet. I tried it last weekend. You talking about red velvet? Red velvet can be. Michi3. My sister used to love German chocolate cake. So me and my other sister, we couldn't stand it. And so but my other sister, she used to love red velvet cake. Oh my God, it was her favorite thing. And I couldn't figure out how it was German. Or did I say red velvet? I couldn't figure out how German chocolate cake was German chocolate. Like, what made the Germans put coconut in their chocolate? I couldn't figure it out. But she used to love German chocolate. German chocolate. I'm not a fan. Okay, I am not a fan. I'll be off in a minute. Thank you so much for the super chat. Says my grandma's made cornbread with crackling in it, and I'm sure I eat brains and eggs. Hold on, brains and eggs, and which is pig's brains when I was a baby. Oh my God. Just curious. I'll be off in a minute. What part of the country was this? Where are we talking about? Are we talking about the southern states? Because crackling cornbread, I tried to tell y'all, crackling cornbread is in certain parts of southern states. Because people were like, I'm from the South and I ain't never heard of crackling cornbread. You got to be in certain parts. So I'm just curious. I'll be off in a minute. Can you tell me a little bit more about where this all came from? I'm just saying. Because I'm curious about that. But thank you so much for the super chat. I do appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hit Dog 73 says, hey y'all, rolling and listening. Thank you so much, Hit Dog, for being here. Look, Dr. Charles said, now I want to make yellow cake with chocolate icing for dessert. Look, we be coming up with some stuff, Dr. Charles. We be talking about some food. Ms. HLS, I'm telling you, you need to try that caramel churro cake. It's fire. I'm gonna go. There's a nothing but cake not too far from here. So I think I will check that out in the next couple days. Hold on. No 504 said, just FYI, if you sign up for Nothing But Cake website, you get a free muffin cake on your birthday. You do. And you know how I know that? Because I have. Okay? I have. Absolutely not. JMM55 said, Mammy Fresh better not mess with Native unless she wants one of them letters read about her on YouTube. I will. Look, JMM55, I'm not even going to tell you. All I'm going to tell you, JMM55, is that I have a plan in case it goes left, okay? That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say, okay? All right? So now we have several requests for a warm-up. I believe, Jackson Tabasco, we not doing that. We done had all this lovely discussion about cakes and everything. We not doing hog head cheese and crackers that slap. Nope. Let me get this comment off screen. I'll do it on Monday. Thank you so much for being here. You are not late. You are here. Blue Sapphire said, I'd rather not watch her either. There's something wrong with her. There really is. One Pepsi said, Native, I grew up in New Jersey and I had crackling cornbread. Now, One Pepsi, let me ask you this. The people that made that crackling cornbread, did they have any roots, ties, relatives that were in the South? Did you have people in your family that migrated from the South and came up to New Jersey and brought that crackling recipe with them? I'm just curious. I'm just curious if you're rooted in the South. even though you grew up in New Jersey or your roots down here, in this Texas all the way up to North Carolina region that we call the South. I'm just wondering, just wondering. Look, I'll be off in a minute. Thank you so much for the super chat. Says North Carolina. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Queen Black says, I took a rum cake to work and used too much rum. My whole area smelled like rum and people were giddy. Never again. Queen Black, I used to work with a guy that made rum cakes and he used too much rum. Now, I don't drink. So when I smelt the cake, like immediately as soon as he took the cover off of the cake and he was selling slices of the cake, it was so overwhelming. So I know what that's like when you use too much rum in the rum cake and people are just getting drunk off of the cake because the alcohol did not cook off of the cake. Yes, that is that can be disastrous at work. Okay. Oh man, JMM 55 said my parents were from Mississippi and they ate brains and eggs. Not for me. Nope, 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 nope. Shannon Michon says, I agree about the whipped icing, buttercream too sweet. It's not too sweet. It's cake. It is cake. It's supposed to be sweet. Shannon Michon, y'all don't know what y'all missing. I don't know. Just drink some water afterwards. That's all you got to do. That's what I do. Ramaya Sharon says, we ate brains and eggs as well. We lived in Virginia. I can't do it with the brains. Sorry. Blue Sapphire said nothing but cakes is delicious and dangerous. It can be dangerous. I understand the danger. Okay. Diva Shawnee says Native and Tribe, you guys have to help me, please. I'm taking this freeloading. Hold on. Oh, I'm taking this freeloading thing to another level since Easter. I've been at somebody's house on Sundays. Today I'm at my daughter's house. Diva Shawnee, just cook. Okay. I'm gonna need you just to cook, Diva Shawnee. Stop going to people's house. Okay. You're gonna wear out your welcome eventually. Okay. Stop going to people's house every week. Cook. You know how to cook. I know you know how to cook. Now just go on in there and cook. You don't need no help with that. Okay. You don't need no help with that. All right. I'm just saying. My God. Kia Elder's in the house. Says hello, Native and Tribe. Hello, Kia Elder. How are you? Hope you are doing well. Let's see. I think everybody is accounted for. I believe it looks like it is. Let's see. Diva trying to say her daughter is making chickens stuff, a roaster with homemade stuffing, baked macaroni and cheese, collard greens, lamb chops, and Brussels sprouts. Shaking my head. Please help me with this. Has to stop. I don't even cook on Sundays. Barely. Help me. Go cook. Go home. Diva Shawnee, if you at the people's house right now, go home. Okay? Just go home and cook your food. What is happening with the food in your refrigerator right now, Diva Shawnee? Come on now. Come on now. We better than this. We are better than this. Next Sunday, you are at home cooking, okay? All right, that's the tough love I'm gonna get you. Okay, that is the tough love I'm going to give you. Okay, all right. Joseph Bullard is in the house. Says, "Hey, Native and Tribe, this y'all boy El Nesto and me need is 10 good players. All I need is 10 good players, basketball players, football players." Joseph Bullet, thank you so much for being here. Only Me 23 is also in the house. Hello, Only Me 23. How are you? All right. So let's do a warm-up. I haven't done a warm-up in a long time, okay? I haven't done a warm-up in a really, really, really long time. So I guess I will do a warm-up, okay? Thank you, Diva Shawnee. Next Sunday, you at home. Don't even, matter of fact, can somebody hide Diva Shawnee keys so that she can't get in the car and go to somebody else's house? Okay? All right? My God. Anyway, let me do a little bit of a warm-up. This is for Shirley Divorce Finally, for the kids. You know, Native love the kids. All right? All right? Native love the kids. So I'm going to do this for the kids. All right? Me. 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 You have to listen to me. You have to listen to me. Them folk, 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 them folk. I don't know them folk, them folk, them folk, them folk, them folk, them folk. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. About to explode my brain. Boop, boop, boop. About to explode my brain. Boop, 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 boop. Brain exploded. Boop, 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 boop. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Bingo. 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 All right, y'all. We got a little bit of a warm up in today. We got a little look. Why, Ms. HLS? Because the people wanted the warm up. Okay, that's what they wanted. That's what they wanted. Okay. All right. Y'all know Ms. HLS don't like to warm up for whatever reason. I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't. Okay. I don't. Anyway, so today we are going to get into the call that was dropped by phone calls from prison about 3 days ago. All right. Nesto's lawyers have told him to shut up in 2023. Okay. let that sink in. That they told him. Now, we have been saying, like, for the longest, that he needs to not talk on the phone. Him talking on the phone has only hurt his case. It has hurt his credibility. It has hurt all of these things, right? But he continued to talk. And we have been saying this since we've heard the calls. Like, why does he continue to talk? And lo and behold, in 2023, he was told to shut the fuck up. He was told to shut the fuck up. Okay. Cross Country Cruiser, thank you so much for the super chat. I do, just laughing emojis. I do appreciate that. I do appreciate you so much. But let that sink in, y'all. This man was told all the way back in 2023 that he is talking too much on the phone, yet he continues to talk. And he continues to talk to this silly little beaver named Sonia Waller Durham Jackson III. Okay. So we're going to get into this call. All right. We are going to get into this call. Hold on. Salt and Pepper Trust is giving me some old food. Says Native, have you ever had vanilla wafer cake with strawberry glaze? No, I haven't. Okay. Do you have one, Salt and Pepper Tresses? Because if you have one, yeah. If you have one, I'm pulling up, Salt and Pepper Tresses. I'm pulling up. All right. You don't have to. If you next time you have one, let me know so I can pull up. Okay. My goodness. Mm. I'm just saying. Okay. I'm a little frustrated because you have better food, Salt and Pepper Tresses, than I do. Okay. You got better food options. Okay. Than I do. I ain't got all them food options. I just don't. Damn it, man. That sounds good. All right. You know, but then they said that damn doorbell. You know, but Danae, it just means that when y'all have good food, I'm pulling up. Means, okay? Just saying. My goodness. Anyway, all right, let's get into this call, y'all. Provided to us by phone calls from prison. Shay and hubby over there doing their work, honestly doing God's work over there at the phone calls from prison. Who knows where we would be if it were not for phone calls from prison, right? Who knows where we would be in the Ernesto Williams case? You know, they say he nasty, but where would we be, y'all? Think about it. If it had not been for Shay dropping these calls, putting them out there to the public, making Shirley Strawberry apologize to Steve because he too fat to get up his own damn steps. All right. I don't know why she had to apologize for that. Because if you was breathing hard, Steve Harvey, you was just breathing hard, okay? Shirley, I don't know how I'm gonna get down these hill steps. Now I don't know how I'm gonna I barely got up these hill steps. I don't know how I'm gonna get down these hill steps. But I'm gonna figure it out though, Shirley. Shirley, maybe you can help me get down these hill steps. I'm out of breath up here. This Steve Harvey, Shirley. And I'm up here at the top of these here steps. I don't know how I'm gonna get down because I can't breathe, Shirley. If it had not been for phone calls from prison, we wouldn't have had an apology for Shirley Strawberry talking about Steve Harvey, right? Phone calls from prison has done some amazing. Where would we be? Where would we be without phone calls from prison? Trina too said, "What you breathing for? What you breathing for? Hey hun, hey hun, what you breathing for, hun? I can't get down these here steps, Shirley. That what I'm breathing hard for. I can't get down these here steps. These here steps done got me now, Shirley. Now where your man? Because your man might be able to help me get down these here steps." That's what we are. So nothing but love for phone calls from prison, friend of the channel. I appreciate everything that she does. And this call was dropped 3 days ago from phone calls from prison. Okay. So let's go. Let's just jump on into it. Let's listen, y'all.
In these two calls from December of 2023, Nesto tells Sonia his attorney told him to shut up after hearing some of his jail calls. Nesto also says he won't plead guilty for something he didn't do. Sonia
Listen, check this out. I want to play. I want to start this over again. Now, Shay has to listen to these calls all the time, right? Shay listens to these calls more than we do because Shay, in some instances, has to redact. She's got to edit. She has to go over these calls probably multiple times, right, before she actually puts them out. Now, here's what I want. The reason I want to rewind this is because I want you all to hear the way Shay says, "Shut up." Okay. Because I promise you, the way Shay says, "Shut up," right here, it's almost as if she has for the longest time been saying "shut up" for the longest time that she's been doing. Listen, y'all just listen to the way she says "shut up." There's emphasis on "shut up." Okay, y'all listen to this. Watch this.
In these two calls from December of 2023, Nesto tells Sonia his attorney told him to shut up after hearing some of his jail calls. Nesto also
His attorney said to shut up during. It's just fine. I just caught that. It's just hilarious to me.
says he won't plead guilty for something he didn't do. Sonia says she changed the narrative with her Tasha K interview and tells Nesto to fire his attorney. Take a listen.
Please hold. Hello. This is a prepaid call from.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on.
William Pryor.
An inmate.
Is something wrong with William Pryor? I'm just curious. Is something wrong with why does he say his own name like that? William Pryor. Matter of fact, is William Pryor here today? We got a William Pryor that drops in the chat. Is William Pryor here? Because I'm just saying, every time we hear this recording, it just sounds like something is wrong. William Pryor. I don't know why he says his name like that. Boys Nana says, hello everyone. I'm tipping in the back. Hello, Boys Nana. How are you? Ms. Reed said, that's what she was thinking. I know, look, Ms. Reed, imagine if you had to listen to Nesto and Sonya all the time. Imagine that. And that's what you listen to. And I don't know how many times she probably in the back of her head said, shut up. Hey, Bev Badu, how are you? How are you? Jet Black Straight says, I definitely have a visual of what I think William Pryor looks like. Look, look, he just says his name in the oddest way possible. William Pryor. I don't know why he does that. I mean, for real. I'm just saying. Dr. Charles says, I think William might be a little slow, and that's how Nesto got his PIN number. I think so too. It sounds like it. William Pryor. Like he says the whole damn name. He says the whole damn name. I mean, Talks with TK say William is highly agitated. It sounds like something wrong with him. It does. It does. You know what Danae said? He says his name like the dude in Ferris Bueller. Yeah. What's his name? Ben Stein. Yeah, Ben Stein. Ben Stein. Ferris, Bueller, 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 William Pryor. Yeah, he does. He sounds just like him. Let's listen.
At the Cobb County Adult Detention Facility.
To accept this, your current balance is $10.42. This call is from a correction facility and is subject to monitoring and recording.
Thank you for using Global Tellink.
Hello?
Yeah, how you doing?
Hello? Shit, sorry. Hello?
You alright?
Yeah. I'm here. We're going to get this thing. I'm just watching here. What's up?
Okay, they said I got another radio. I got another phone call come out yesterday with Dion.
What happened?
Dion got a phone call came.
Why the hell is he whispering, y'all? Why is Nesto whispering right now? What the hell is happening right now? Nesto always trips me out when he whispers because it makes me think that like he's trying to hide something from the people around him. So he's like, "Hey, you heard that Dion got another call out there? Is it Dion got a call out there? What's going on with that? I can't." And Sonya, now you know Sonya be whispering, right? But even Sonya don't know what the hell he's saying right here. She's like, say what now? What's going on? What is it Dion? If Dion got another call out there, I'm just trying to see if Dion got a call that's out there. I'm just trying to see. Why is he whispering? I don't understand the whisper. Pen Pal 50, why you think he whispering? Boys Nana said Big Ken around. Kidney Punch Ken. But Kidney Punch Ken don't need to use the phone right now. I don't think Kidney Punch Ken is offended by his conversation. I don't know, y'all. This whispering is weird. I don't know if jail is where you want to whisper shit. I'm just saying.
Came out yesterday. They did leak another phone call yesterday.
Okay, hold on. Let me look. I got to use the other phone to look and see. I don't look on the other phone.
So the people came to see me a few minutes ago.
Oh, different.
Yeah, the investigator.
Oh, Douglas, Daniel, whatever his name is.
But I don't call him name. He told me shut the fuck up so they heard my phone call.
Which one?
The last one I made with old girl.
Oh, they heard that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So he told me shut the fuck up and heard my case. I said I heard my case. He said that they asked me did I want to represent myself. I said, why would I do that? He said, because I'm making all these different moves.
Hold on.
So I found this to be very interesting that he said this, right? So we talk about his involvement with the non-lawyer. Okay, I'm gonna say it again. She's not a lawyer. Okay, she is I can't even say a regular person. She's an idiot that watches TV. Is that fair? Is that fair that she's an idiot that watches TV? Because I watch TV, you watch TV. Beanne, I know you watch TV. Salt and Pepper Tresses, we watch TV, right? But we do not assume the careers of the characters on TV. That's not what we do. That's not what regular people do. That's what an idiot would do. So I think it's fair to say that Sonya is an idiot that watches TV. Okay? Because she sees lawyer on TV and assumes the role of lawyer because she has watched said TV show. She said that when they do whatever procedures they do on TV, it has to be by the book. So she actually thinks that on Law and Order that it takes them 30 minutes to solve who did it, and the other 30 minutes goes towards the trial. She thinks that these things are wrapped up in an hour because she said everything that happens on TV is by the book. She did not exclude time frames. So Sonya Waller Durham Jackson III actually believes that the things that happen on court shows and the things that happen on court on court shows or on cop shows like Law and Order, CSI, CSI Miami, CSI Bangor, Maine, wherever they put CSI at now, I lose track, okay? She believes that all of this stuff is real, y'all. She said it out of her own mouth. I am not making this up. So, I believe that it is fair to say that she is an idiot that watches TV, okay? Now, because Ernesto Williams, you know, they say he nasty. Because he listens to Sonia Waller Durham Jackson III, his own lawyer, his own team, they believe that he wants to represent himself like a sovereign citizen. Because when they hear the phone calls and they hear all the stupid strategies, all the dumb advice that she's giving him, they think, well, what are we doing? What's our purpose in this whole thing? You got your own pseudo lawyer, right? You got your own pseudo lawyer that's doing all of this stuff. Do you want to represent yourself? Why am I here? Why are we out here doing case law? Why are we out here trying, when you got your own strategy and your own advisor, do you want to represent yourself? I think that that is probably the most telling thing that he has said about what's going on his side of the case. We know the witness list. We know what Will Wooten is doing. We know all of these things, right? Because we're keeping up with that part of it. We really don't know what's happening on his side. I believe that this statement alone tells us the frustration that whatever lawyers he had on his team in December of 2023, I think it shows what frustration they are going through when it comes to trying to represent this man. I think that that statement alone lets us know that Sonia Waller Durham Jackson III has been frustrating the shit out of them. These phone calls have been frustrating the shit out of them, and that this is making it very, 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 very hard to represent this man. I do believe that. Beanne said he kept talking a whole year following. Yeah, so shut the fuck up didn't mean anything to him. Okay. Mary Willis says she's a 304. Mary Willis, didn't you tell me not to be naughty? Okay. Native, I said it. Mary Willis, you told me not to be naughty, okay? All right. Okay. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Miss Kim said, who is old girl? She is old girl. All right. Paradise in Mexico says, Native, you got a public email. I do indeed. I do indeed. Can one of my mods put that in real quick? Bevy C says, so he was told to shut the fuck up. Does he think he's stupid? Whispering doesn't count. He thinks, I guess, you know what, Bevy C? I think he does think that if he whispers, that the lawyers might not be able to hear him whispering. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Salt and Pepper Trust says, Native, I watch the first 48 regularly. I am definitely a homicide detective. I mean, might as well. Might as well go on out there and solve some crimes. Salt and Pepper Trusts. Can you imagine getting in them people way? Like in your city, if you found out that there was an unaliving and you went out to the scene and you was just kind of like, yeah, so right here, this piece of paper. You see this piece of paper right here? Yeah, we probably want to collect that. I bought my own Ziploc bags to to bag it up. You want me to help you? Man, them people would be done cussed you out and told you to get the hell out their way. So yeah, might as well. Might as well. Ms. Kim said, when I was 4, I believe I could go to Sesame Street. Sonya is beyond stunted. When I was, I mean, look, what you said, 4? When I was 4 or 5, I thought Sesame Street was a real street that was attached to a real city in a real neighborhood. How was I supposed to know, right? But as I got older, I realized that, it was a bunch of It was a bunch of people that were putting on a show. Okay, we understand these things, Miss Kim, as we get older, right? Sonya is pushing 60,000 years old. Okay, and listen, she still thinks that TV shows are real. She thinks that, Miss Kim. Now, would you put your freedom in the hands of somebody that thought in that way? I'm just asking because I wouldn't. So, everybody ain't like me, and I get it, but I wouldn't. I really wouldn't. The only Tyrone Biggums in the house says Tyrone represented himself on an episode of Living Single. Maxine was the prosecutor. Hashtag real talk. Thank you. Thank you for the real talk on the real. Deanne says I wouldn't want him as a client. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because of everything that comes with him. It's insane. Natasha Razor Glam says Sloan, you're writing that bad review for Crail is going to make the other lawyers want to stay away from him. See, and that's the thing. Sonya doesn't realize the impact that she is having or has had on this case. She doesn't realize it, even to right now, does not have an idea of how much damage she has done to this man that she claims to love. Remember Natasha Razor Glam? I love your head. I love your feet. I love your hands. I love your knees. I love your bow-legged walk. I love your toes. I love your beard. I love your mustache. You remember that? Natasha Razor Glam. She loves every part of this man, but yet cannot stop making his life more difficult. And honestly, I love it for him. Okay? I love it for him. He deserves every bit of what she brings to the table. Absolutely does. Okay? Oh, look out now. Tase Them Hoes just became a member. Thank you so much, Tase Them Hoes, for becoming a member. Everybody, give it up for our newest member of the tribe. Now, Tase Them Hoes, you've been here long enough. You know that, here at the tribe, we only got one rule, and that is if you come in, if you're going to put your feet up, just take your shoes off first. Thank you so much for becoming a member. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Ms. HLS says, I watch a lot of basketball. That means I can coach. Well, you know what, Ms. HLS? Let me tell you something. Depending on which team you watch, you probably can. Look, I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. You probably could go get a job with the Orlando Magic, Ms. HLS, because I'm just saying. I'm just saying. If that's your favorite team, I'm sorry, but they probably could use a coach. Okay, if you want to come coach the Atlanta Hawks, I'm pretty sure they'll consider you. They probably would listen to some of your strategies and how you would implement them. And I'm pretty sure, Ms. HLS, now basketball, you probably could. Okay, because I've seen some coaches that probably need to do something else. All right, I'm just saying. Deanne said, I think what shut him up was the discovery. Yeah, I think so. You might be right about that. I do believe so. Mm-hmm. Carlise Burke says, hey, Carlise Burke, how you doing? Says, I'm not a lawyer, but I played one on TV. Does that count? Yes. Yes, it does. It counts. It does. It does count. Kia Elder 305 says, I watch a lot of Grey's Anatomy. I have a surgery scheduled for 5. Pray for me. No, Kia Elder, I'm praying for whoever the hell you finna cut open, okay? I'm praying for them. All right? My God. Grey's Anatomy. Look, Kia Elder, if you watch a lot of Grey's Anatomy, they do more hot steamy relations than they do anything else on that show. So I'm just saying, Kia Elder. From what I've seen, they be all in the closets and then, and seeing each other after work. Okay. All right. You get a little steamy on that show. That's all I'm saying. All right. 80% Simon says, I'm convinced I play the bucket game on the 80% CMOS, what you know about the grand prize game on the Bozo Show? Shot at WGN Studios in Chicago. What you know about that, 80% CMOS? I promise you, man, that was some exciting stuff. 80% CMOS. Do you remember when they used to throw the ball and the ball would like land on the edge of the bucket and almost go in, and they almost got the grand prize. I mean, that was some, as a kid, that was the most suspenseful thing that you could watch, was the grand prize game on the Bozo Show, shot at WGN Studios in Chicago. I promise you 80% CMOS. I ain't know you knew nothing about that, okay? I ain't know you knew nothing about that. Hey, Leroy says 60 ball. Mm-hmm. Yep, 60 ball. She look, Sonya's 60 and balled up. Okay. Sonya is 60 and balled up. That she looked like somebody just threw her ass away. All right. Rody Love in the house says, hello, everyone. Hello, Rody Love. How are you? Hope you are doing well. JMM55 says, side chick thinks working as a file clerk for a lawyer and servicing him under the desk counts as a law clerk with a degree. Why does she think that? I'm not mad at this JMM55 because you're right. She does think that, but I just don't know why she thinks that. I just don't know why. BN says people from Sonya's past say she's an agent of chaos. Yeah, and I believe that because she doesn't have boundaries. Usually people that are like that, BN, don't respect boundaries, don't understand boundaries, and don't abide by boundaries. So I'm not surprised that people would say that about her, because everything from what we have seen of her and heard of her shows that that's true. The Duchess says, I'm not sure why she doesn't realize the damage she's doing, because the Duchess, anytime something goes left in his case, anytime a lawyer tries to say something about his case, she convinces Nesto. See, the problem is that she has total influence over Nesto. So her influence won't allow Nesto to see what she's doing. So it's everybody else. Mind you, this man has cussed out his own son on behalf of Sonya. He has insulted his best friend on behalf of Sonya. He has literally insulted his wife on behalf of Sonya. So if Sonya is the one that puts the battery in his back and programs him to go forward, there is no programming in his mind that tells him to look back at Sonya as the one that is causing the issue. That's where it comes from. It's because of her overwhelming influence over Nesto. That's why he can't see it. See? Remember, there are calls, and there was one call that I was about to actually review the other day that, block everybody. Don't talk to Dion. Don't talk to Lamont. Don't talk to Dre. Don't talk to anybody. I'm mad at everybody but you. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's everybody but her. Everybody else. Now, she hasn't contributed a single dime, but yet it's on Dre. I'm mad at Dre because Dre didn't put up his house. I'm mad at Dion because Dion doesn't drop any money on me. I'm mad at Lamont because Lamont don't keep his word. But Sonya ain't spending no money except for the money on the calls. So it's because of her influence. That's the reason why. Shady said, ew, no, she didn't. Girl, stand up. Bevy C says, I watch baseball. Some coach needs to put me in center field because you best believe I can play. I know, right? I know. I wouldn't want to be in center field. That's a lot of responsibility. Do you, Bevy C, do you know I ain't really realized how big like a baseball field is? Because I used to play Little League and I ain't realized like a Major League Baseball. That center field, that's a lot of responsibility. All that grass out there, Bevy C, that you got to cover. Oh my God. But if you can do it, Bevy C, I believe in you. Go, Bevy C. Aquarius Bay says, oh, wow, how embarrassing for her to have expressed that. Exactly. Exactly. William Pryor is in the house. Thank you so much for the super chat. William Pryor says, hey, here I am, native. I had to get the tablet. Jesus Christ. Hey, William Pryor, why do white people say, Jesus Christ? Why do white people say, well, hey, let me ask you this question. Let me ask you a question right here. Why do white people say, Jesus Christ? Do you know the answer to that, William Pryor? I don't know if you know the answer to that. But anyway, thank you so much for the super chat. I do appreciate that so much. Boys Nana says, Sonya's delusional. She really thinks she's doing something big. Only thing she has done is contribute to the prosecutor's case. I'm telling you, she has added at least 10 to 15 years. on this man's he was already going, but she's added 10 to 15 additional years based on everything she's implemented him with. And I know that if anybody's grateful, if Nesto think that he's grateful for Sonya, let me tell you something. That damn Will Wooten, won't he do it Wooten, is thanking God every day for Sonya because she has made his job so much easier. My God. The only Tyrone Bigham says Tyrone didn't know Snuffleupagus was Big Bird's imaginary friend. No one else can see him, only Big Bird and the viewers. You didn't know that? Yeah, nobody else can see Snuffleupagus. Hi, Bird. What are you doing? Hi, Snuffy. What are you doing today? I'm just over here being imaginary. I think you're high, Bird. I think you're high. That was him, the only Tyrone Biggums. Absolutely. Figment of his imagination. Okay. Natasha Reza Glam says, I watch Botched. I'm giving nose jobs in my garage. Please stop. Please do not do rhinoplasty in your garage. Okay, Natasha Reza Glam. I don't care what you watched. Okay. That's gonna get messy and they're gonna take your ass to court. Okay. They're gonna take your ass to court. I'm just saying, y'all. Let's hold on. 80% Simon said, baby, had me on the edge of my grandma's plastic covered couch. Look, 80% CMOS, especially when you had that one kid, right? Once they got past, look, it was always that little sad kid that at bucket number one, fucked it up. Okay. Embarrassed his family. Bucket number one, some kind of way you couldn't drop the damn ball into bucket number one. There was always that kid, right? But then you had that kid that got to bucket number three. And then you was like, oh shit, we might be on to something, right? Then you get to bucket number. It was always that one kid that would get almost to the end. And that ball would come off the rim of that damn bucket. And it just crushed your dreams. It crushed your dreams for this child that you do not know that lives in Chicago somewhere that used to it would just be devastating. If y'all don't know what I'm talking about, go look up the Bozo show that used to come on WGN in the 80s. 80% CMOS took me all the way back to my childhood right then, okay? All the way back in. Portia Matthews is in the house. Hello, Portia Matthews. How are you? I Revive says all mention of WGN takes me back. Now I'm in my fields. Look, I think I used to watch WGN more than anything because I used to watch the Bulls and I used to watch the Cubs, right? And I'm in Florida. I was in Florida. Channel 9 was WGN, and I used to watch. Sometimes I would watch Chicago News, but I used to, I was a big Bulls. I mean, they showed every Bulls game. It was great. It was so great. And every Cubs game, and it was great. Now, the White Sox, for some reason, I don't remember them showing the White Sox too much, but I was a huge Cubs fan. I really was. I really, really was. So it took me back. It takes me back. Our vibes, it does. Mm-hmm. Joseph Bullitt said the bags under her eyes look 60. Shirley Divorce finally says Nesto was just dumb for listening to this bird brain. That's why he's still in jail. Absolutely. Absolutely. The Duchess said, no, Native, I'm not sure. I'm not so sure she doesn't realize the damage she's caused. Well, I think too, she doesn't realize it because she's got blinders on and she's going to blame everybody else around. I think we're saying the same thing. That was the point I was making, was that she doesn't realize it because anything that happens, she's not going to contribute to herself. She's going to think that, it's the lawyers, it's Dion, it's Dre, it's everybody, so. But no, I get what you're saying, the Duchess. I do. Ale says Sonya's relationship with Nesto is diabolically perfect. It is. S&W is in the house. Says, hey, fam. Hello, S&W. Thank you so much for being here. Mel Bully says, I think William Pryor's Nesto trying to sound like someone else. I don't think so. He's using someone else's pen because it's pre-recorded. It's pre-recorded. And honestly, Mel Bully, it wouldn't do him any good to do that. I mean, everything after that recording is going to be him anyway. So I do believe William Pryor. And let me tell you, Mel Bully, William Pryor is who I believe he was trying to convince us that was Richard Pryor's nephew, that Richard Pryor doesn't have. that he was talking about, was talking to his mom and was Richard Pryor's nephew. I don't know if you remember that call, but I think that's who William Pryor actually is. He probably went into the jail, told them all he was Richard Pryor's nephew. As you can hear, he sounds a little slow. William Pryor. Yeah, I don't think that's Nesto. I think there's a real William Pryor that's locked up. Because like I said, what good would that do if he was pretending to be William Pryor? I mean, it's the same money. It's the same money on the account. It doesn't change anything. So I believe that that's actually a William Pryor. I believe. I think. Speaking of which, William Pryor says, however, she told him not to ask anyone else for money. Exactly. Say Jay says center field was my spot. I don't see how you do it. I don't. Linda is in the house. Says good Sunday afternoon, Native Tribe, Urban Media, and Smokey. Hello. Shay D says I forgot to say hello to everyone. Hope your Sunday is popping. It is indeed. All right. Let's mind my biz being nosies in the house. Hello. All right, y'all. Let's listen to some more of this foolishness.
We didn't discuss your case. I guess they're trying to say because you got mad on the phone.
But I did not discuss my case.
You didn't discuss your case. But sitting in jail for over a year and somebody tricking you, and that's what she does purposefully, you can get mad.
Hold on. Mary Willis says, why the kid have to come from Chicago, Native? Because that's where they taped the show. I mean, is it possible that they came from Gary? Yeah, they might have come from Gary, but for the most part, it was a bunch of white kids that looked like they were from the Chicago suburbs, and they went down to WGN. It was a local show. So, the natural assumption is that those kids were from Chicago. I've never been to the Bozo the Clown show up in Chicago because, well, I lived in Florida. I'm just saying. I think it's a reasonable guess, Mary Willis, that they were from Chicago because WGN taped that show in Chicago and they didn't go anywhere else or tour. So, that's why, nothing against Chicago kids. I mean, I'm just saying. I didn't know none of them kids because I lived in Florida. That's all I'm saying. Bevy C said, isn't contacting victims considered witness tampering? It is indeed considered witness tampering, and she has done that, and we will see how that plays out. Joseph Bullock says, I can defend Nesto even though I'm not a licensed lawyer. I did stay at a Holiday Inn last night. Oh my God. Justin's mom said, I watch The Heat of the Night every day on WGN. I forgot they used to show that. They on WGN used to show In the Heat of the Night. Yeah, I forgot about that. In syndication, Justin's mom, they sure did. Delicate Dale said, I think the Bozo show started in the 50s. I remember watching it when I was in kindergarten. It has been around for a while. There have been different iterations of Bozo the Clown over the years. I know in the 80s, I don't know who played that particular version of him, but they used to show all of the Rocky the Bullwinkle cartoons and all of those cartoons during the Bozo show. So I remember watching that. And then, of course, the grand prize game where you had to throw the ping pong ball into those buckets. And sometimes they would come out of the buckets. I forgot about that. They would bounce out of the buckets. That was a hard game to win. It really was. It really was. Sweet Peasy says, Native, the Duchess was inferring that the old hen may know exactly what she's doing. She doesn't. I don't see. Here's the thing, Sweet Peasy. I can't call her an idiot and then think that she has some grand plan because I really do think that she's on purpose this dumb, but I don't think that she's on purpose cunning. I don't give her cunning at all because she doesn't have the common sense to be cunning. So I don't think that there is some plan that she's hatched that's like, I'm going to do these things, because then we're giving her a lot of credit for being smarter than what she really is. And I can't do that because she hasn't proven that to me. She hasn't proven to me that she's smart about anything. Not just, and then Sweet Peasy, think about this, not just talking about this case. When you think about the things that she has said about her childhood, about the things that she did as a 20-year-old, and all the things that she has said up to this point, leading before she even met Ernesto, she's not smart. and she's not smart enough to pull something like, because think about it, she would have to do a lot behind the scenes in order to be doing this on purpose. There would have to be a lot of thought put into this. She's proven to us over and over again that she's not a thinker at all. So I can't buy that. I just can't. I mean, is it possible? Sure. Am I wrong? Could I be wrong? Possibly. But I just don't think, I think if we look at all of the empirical evidence that we've gathered over all this time that we've been listening to calls and listening to her specifically in a call or even in interviews, she's not smart enough to be able to pull off doing something like this on purpose. That's just my take on it. I mean, could I be wrong? I could. I really, really could. I could, but I don't think I am, just because she is a fucking idiot, man. She is so damn dumb. BN says, you are right, Native. Back down memory lane. I miss the Bulls from back in the day. Man, that used to be, I used to stop what I was doing to watch the Bulls. My God. BN said there was a William Pryor in jail with him. Right. And I think that he is using his pen. Hey, let's talk about it all is in the house. Said he did discuss his case all the time. He did. Like all the time. Loving Life is in the house. What up, though, Loving Life? How are you? Mimi said, just like Soul Train was local to Chicago, then moved to LA. Right. Man, I don't know anything about the Chicago Soul Train. I do know about the LA Soul Train, the Rosie Perez Soul Train, the Asian lady with the long hair Soul Train, that one light-skinned guy that wore the trench coat all the time, that Soul Train. That's the one I'm familiar about with Mimi. That's the one that was in LA. Shady says Shady says she said, don't ask anyone else for money after the Metro PCS twins got on that phone. Dion was messy for that. Dion don't like Sonya. Dion, that was a straight shot at Sonya. That's exactly what that was. Okay. I mean, nothing more, nothing less. Nothing more, nothing less. Felix the Cat. Wow. That's old. That is old. DC Loudly said, is the prayer warrior one of them PCS girls? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Nope. Because the reason why that's not DC Lively is because Ernesto and Dre have talked about them. And if you go back and listen to the calls where the Metro PCS girls are on it was almost like Dion and Nesto knew them. So it was like two separate relationships. The prayer warrior was Nesto and Dre, and then the Metro PCS girls was Dion and Nesto. So if you just listen to the way that Dion presented them, it was almost like Nesto forgot about them, but Nesto actually brought the prayer warrior up to Dre. So those are two separate people. Absolutely. Let's listen to some more.
They act like people can't have feelings. On the whole, out of all the phone calls you've had over the whole year and a half, you only been mad 3 times on the phone.
Yeah.
And it wasn't violently mad, it's just mad.
Yeah.
So let me see what I'm looking for.
Yeah. So he asked me about my knee.
Now, here's the other thing that we have to remember. Ernesto had a meeting with his lawyers. Sonya was not privy to the meeting. So how can Sonya tell Nesto what his lawyers were saying to him? She wasn't a part of the meeting. She didn't know anything about the meeting until this call. But yet, again, this is what I'm saying about her influence. She's trying to explain to Nesto what the lawyers were saying to him in a meeting that they said it directly to him. Let that sink in, that this is how dumb he is. It's not about talking about your case. In a lot of instances, it's about incriminating yourself. So I don't have to talk about the case itself, right? But if I talk about places, things, times, people, right? Oh, I was with this person at this time or this time. I'm not talking directly about the case, but what I am doing is I am putting myself in certain locations at certain times, which do associate with the case. I am saying things like, if I were to grape someone, Y'all remember I pointed that out when he said, well, if I was going to grape somebody, it wouldn't be the daughter of a gangster, of a street dude. Because when you say that, what you are saying is that I would grape somebody. I hate that YouTube makes me say that. But if I were to grape someone, is what you glean out of that conversation. He didn't say I would never touch someone without their permission, without it being consensual. I would never do that. That's not what he said. He said if I were to grape someone, it wouldn't be the daughter of. So you're saying that you do have the capacity, the ability to do such a thing. All of those things, all of those statements are damaging and does not have to be you directly talking about the case. But Ernesto, in his slow-witted way of thinking, and double that for Sonya, they think that as long as you're not talking the actual case, that it doesn't hurt you. And as Sonya said, you weren't violently mad. I don't know what violently mad has to do with anything over the phone, but whatever. I don't know if she thinks that he's supposed to be slamming down the receiver and just being violently mad. I don't know why she said that, but it has nothing to do with what his lawyers were actually saying to him. Let's listen.
Yes, and you got some nieces.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But for a minute I got startled and then he said, and I said, yeah, I got one. Yeah, so they getting your stuff. And
You got 6 cents on his call.
I got what?
6 cents on his call.
No, not that. I'm talking about, no, not that. I'm talking about that they leak a phone call out. He said I got another phone call came out.
They leak them every week.
Oh, okay.
They still, I gotta call this place and have them stop leaking. Or if he gonna file something for them to stop leaking it?
Yeah, they say he's finna do that now.
Okay, good.
They're gonna try to do that now, and say they gotta do something because it's been 18 months. But they ain't gotta do nothing because that heavy charge started all over again.
But I'm glad they got that out there. I'm glad he saw that then, because he wasn't paying no real attention.
Yeah, he got that out there and said, "Hey, tell her, no, I don't want to represent myself. I understand you trying to speak on. Yeah, I am, because I ain't treated fair." I didn't know I got mad though. That wasn't good.
I mean, she triggered you, so and that's fine, because you didn't get violent, and that's what they're trying to say. Oh, he's violent. He's this. He's that. You can be mad and emotional about your wife. You're all right. You haven't been yet on the phone, so it's been a year.
Hey, Sonya, can somebody wake Sonya up? Can somebody? Because what time is it? Hold on. What time is it right now? Right now it is 3:14 p.m. Can Sonya? I know Sonya doesn't wake up for another 2 hours. Can somebody wake Sonya up and ask Sonya real quick? How are you violent on the phone? I'm just because she said it multiple times, y'all, and I don't know what the hell she mean. I don't speak her fucked up language, so I don't know what it means to be violent on the phone. Now, here's what I do know, Sonya. If you are awake right now, okay? If you are awake right now, what I do know is that if you pull a weapon on somebody and put it in their face, that's violence. Okay. I do know that if you touch somebody without their permission, without it being consensual, that is violence. See, when you violate somebody in those ways, those are violent tendencies. Now, I don't know what universe you live in where somebody is violent over the phone. Okay. Y'all see what I mean by her being an idiot? Y'all see what I'm saying? Like she's a fucking idiot, and she says idiot things like this. So these things are not just coming out of of the thin blue sky. This is not an anomaly. She speaks from the well of idiocy that springs from out of her fucked up gut. Okay, out of the heart, right? Does the mouth speak? So not only is she stupid in her brain, she's stupid in her heart as well. Because this is a very dumb thing to say over and over and over again, that you weren't violent on the phone. Is anybody following me? Okay. Messy Sassy says, I'm from Chicago and we watched it getting ready for school. I used to watch that getting ready for school. And let me tell you what I went in high school, what I used to watch when I was getting ready to go to school was Sports Center with Stuart Scott. Okay. And he used to talk about the sports, and he said that the man was cool as the other side of the pillow. Yes, indeed. That was my boy. That was my boy. I got ready for school watching sports highlights on ESPN every morning. Y'all don't make me go back. But that's what I used to do. Hmm. Yep. Obsessed with the mess says she's a fucking idiot. I find myself saying that about her damn near daily. Because she is daily, she's an idiot. That's why. That is why. Sonya's Boo says, I'm going to take a nap with Sonya. Ring the doorbell, wake me. Okay, Sonya's Boots, I got you. I got you covered. I got you covered. BN says, Tasha K interview prove how he talked to women. One of his victims may be able to attest to it. Exactly. And see, and they just like don't believe that all the bluster, when they say, BN, when they say what you say can and will be used against you by a court of law. When they say that, look, it means that your words will be used against you, and his lawyers know that. Of course they know that. They're lawyers, right? But here they are. I ain't say nothing. No, you didn't say anything. No, all you said was, that you were upset and, and you weren't violent on the phone, so they can't say you were violent. No one said he was violent. They said that he needs to stop talking. But the concept is too deep for them to even understand. It is. Virgo Kelly said, new zoo review. Oh my God, I haven't heard that in years. My God. Wow, Virgo Kelly, you took me back on that one. Hey, let's talk about it all. Say, ain't nobody trigger him. He had just got on the phone. Always see, and that's the thing. Like, hey, let's talk about it all. I mean, if we think about it, like, if you listen to Ernesto, he's super sensitive. Now, whether or not he knows that's the way he makes himself sound, that's the way he makes himself sound. He is super sensitive. Oh man, the reason why I said that is because my mind, I just couldn't, oh boy. And so anything can set him off at any moment. He has no self-control. That's what I would take out of it. And a person that doesn't have self-control has the potential to do things suddenly, right? Just suddenly, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that because I'm triggered by everything around me. Everything triggers me. Oh, I got some bad news. Now my brain going to explode. Bloop, bloop, bloop. All this stuff, right? What prosecutors will do is they will paint a picture of who you are to the jury. So if we were to go over the calls, now mind you, Will Wooten has heard more than we have. Will Wooten has gotten testimony and has gotten statements from people that we have not heard from because they're not on these calls. But I want you all to think, just based on the calls that we have heard, if you were in Will Wooten's shoes, what kind of picture do you have the ability to create about Ernesto Williams? They say he nasty. Now, the thing is that when your lawyers are telling you to shut the fuck up, what they are essentially doing and trying to get you to understand is that the more you talk, the more colors you are giving the prosecution to paint with. See, If you can paint a black and white picture and that's the only thing that you have is black and white, that's the way the defense would like it. But when you start talking about what you will and won't do, when you start talking about how, did I say she has some pretty titties? Yeah, because it's true. And you're a married man. See, now you don't just get black and white. Will Wooten is working with a whole palette of colors because Will Wooten has heard all of these things and gotten all these statements. And now when he paints that picture of who Ernesto Williams, they say he nasty. When he paints that picture of who he actually is, the jury is going to find a vivid masterpiece painted by Will Wooten. And the colors were provided to him by Ernesto Williams and Sonia Waller Durham Jackson III. But as we can listen to in this call, they do not understand that concept at all. Not one little bit. Okay?
And it destroys your life, this whole situation. The person's supposed to ask women. But you didn't threaten anybody. You didn't threaten anybody involved, So, whatever. But anywho, I didn't look at any phone calls recently to see what's released.
That's okay. That's what he told me. So I'm like, you sure? I ain't heard that one. He said that was released yesterday.
Yeah, so apparently he knows.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't know the other side. I'll send your niece the information to send to him for the other side.
No, don't send nothing else to that. Don't send nothing else to them. Don't do nothing else right now.
No?
Yeah, don't.
No, don't do anything, idiot. Look, the Duchess says, yes, she feeds into the lunacy that is his mind and encourages him to speak up for himself. She does not want this man free because she knows he didn't choose her. He got stuck with her. I would say that, yeah, what she's doing is definitely a byproduct of him being captured. She has a captured audience with him, right? Somebody that listens to her, because he ain't got no choice. I mean, you know what the Duchess, what I always find funny is whenever she goes on those long political rants, how he doesn't contribute at all to that conversation because he can't follow what she's saying. He doesn't understand what she's saying. And it's crazy to me that you would talk about something that the person that you're talking to has zero interest in. That's crazy. That is absolutely insane to me. But I, you know what? I think him getting out, to your point, the Duchess, to your point, him getting out would be the worst thing to happen to her. I think him not talking to her for these weeks, I don't know if they're back talking or what, but I think that him not talking to her would be the worst thing to happen to her. I mean, him getting out, excuse me, would be the worst thing to happen to her since him not talking to her for these past few weeks. Because him getting out, my, him getting out, he is going to be in everybody's face except hers. Literally everybody's face except for hers. So him getting out would not be good at all for her. EK says Sonia and Nesto can't stop talking because they think YouTube are the jurors. They dismiss we are just talk ish. The real jurors about to baptize you. Yes. So and EK, if you can tell me where they get that idea from, that the people on YouTube will decide this case in the courtroom, and that the people on YouTube need to be fair because he's innocent until proven guilty. See, EK, what people forget, the people that say that he's innocent until proven guilty, they leave off the most important part of that statement. In a court of law. If you're going to say it, say the whole thing. He is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. I, as a person on YouTube, I do not have to say that this man is innocent until proven guilty because I am not in a court of law. I am in a court of public opinion. All right. So they forget that when it comes to what I think about the case, I ain't got to be fair. I don't. I don't have to be fair. I can be partial. I can be unbalanced. I can be for one side and not the other side. I can do that because I do not report to a court system, right? I am not a journalist. All right. That's my man Dennis, Hip Hop Inquirer. All right. Did I get that right? I got that right? Okay. Dennis at the Hip Hop Inquirer is a journalist. Dennis, when he writes a story, when he does a story, he tells both sides of the story because that's his profession. I, as somebody that is on the internet, right, on the YouTube streets, I ain't got to abide by all this bluster with innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. I am not going to be a part of the jury. I can't even be a part of the jury because guess what county I don't live in? I don't live in Fulton County. So I'm not even eligible to be a part of the jury pool, even though I live in Georgia. So I think that it's asinine, EK, that they believe that we on the YouTube streets, I got people in this chat that are all the way in South Africa. Hello? ETR, only Echo knows, is in the United Kingdom. All right. I got people in California, Virgo, Cali. I got a bunch of people in Chicago. I got some people in Florida. I got people in New York that's in this chat. I got people in Texas, Louisiana, all over the place, right? But some kind of way they believe that this is going to affect this case to the point to where they need to gag the internet. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? They're a little slow, EK. They're a little slow. All right. All right. BN says native, yep, they will be used in the trial if he goes to trial. Absolutely. Absolutely. Shay B says shut up means shut up. Right. Exactly. Exactly. BN says, yes, his ego is fragile and no impulse control. He is dangerous. He's very impulsive. He's very impulsive. So again, BN, what kind of picture can you create with just the impulses that we've heard on the phone? His impulsive nature on the phone. He can't handle anything because everything is, my brain. Oh, my brain can't think. I can't think. I can't think. Cut my brain. I can't think. Yeah. JMM55 says, why doesn't Nesto, the motherfucking gangster, go off on men like that? He giggles like a little girl and backs off because JMM55, usually men who are abusive towards women cannot stand up to other men. They are very weak. They have to feel strong. They have to feel like they can overpower somebody. And even when it comes to conversation, they have to feel like they can overpower someone. I have never seen a man who was abusive to a woman stand up to another man. I haven't. So it goes to the nature of who Ernesto is, and it's sad, and it is sad. It is very sad. Let me let's listen to some more.
Not enough for them. Not at all.
Why, was he mad about the niece and stuff?
No. Just the way they're talking like I'm trying to represent myself. I'm not trying to do that. That's what they're saying. For him to relay that, that's what he's saying. Do you want to? Because I was just saying I'm fucking myself.
Okay. So you still want me to go get the civil situation?
Yeah. That I can do.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll send you get that.
No, I just woke up about an hour ago, and I was about to do that because I got to be out of here by 4. So I was going to try to do that and get my son's situation out the way with his car. And
So it's got to be a date or something. Something has been filed today. Something has had to been filed today.
You think something was filed today?
Yeah, cause they finna go down, put me in there and get me out of here. Yeah, because they trying to get it, and they trying to get it moved forward, released.
Yeah, because it's stalling. And
And
they're not investigating anything. And they,
Okay, Sonya. Listen. Dr. Charles said, could this be why he can't stand up to Sonya and tell her to shut up because of her masculine energy? I don't think so. And honestly, there is a call, Dr. Charles, where he does tell Sonya to shut the fuck up. He does. He is more aggressive with Sonya. I don't think the masculine energy affects him because I believe his attraction to her overrides that, right? Because again, Shirley was only there for him to use her. He wasn't attracted to Shirley. Because of Sonya's slight nature and her childlike appearance, he's attracted to Sonya. So I believe that attraction overrides her masculine energy. I don't even think Nesto notices it. He thinks that she got a mean mouthpiece and she is like some kind of really great speaker, and that she carries herself this way, and she got that white woman shape, which I don't know what the fuck that means, but she got that white woman shape and all this other stuff. So I think his attraction to her overrides the masculine energy. He has indeed told her to shut the fuck up before in a call that I would love to review it. I gotta find it, but he does actually say that in a call. Now I think it only happened once, but there have been times when he has told her to let him talk. Let me talk. Let me talk. He doesn't stand up to her often, but at least he has done it a few times versus a Dion or a Lamont or a Dre where he's never done it. So I will give him that he has done it a few times. Not that often though, but he has done it. But he did say, "Let me talk. You got to let me talk." BN says he can't handle reality. It challenges his false world through fantasy. He literally lives there. BN, that's why he hated it when Shirley said, "You're out when you're out." Shirley wasn't buying into that bullshit no more. Shirley said, "You're out when you're out, hun." She had the hun at the end, right? You're out when you're out. He hated hearing that. I can only imagine that he had that phone in his fist and it was gripping that phone so hard, and he just wanted to just throw it up against the wall when she said, "You're out when you're out." Because who feeds his fantasy the most? Sonya. Sonya feeds the fantasy of him getting out and has fed it since 2022. Shirley got tired of that shit and said, "You out when you out." So you're right, BN. You're right. You're right. Dion's break said he's so attracted to her, he lied and said he was fasting when he really didn't want to be bothered. So his attraction to her has waned. So if we're talking about today, no. But if we're talking about the reasons why he has put up with her up to this point, Dion's breaks, it was his attraction to her. You can't tell me that this man who has CP charges, where the photos of those children were the ages of 11 to 13, and how old did he say that she looked, Dion's breaks? 12. Okay. So he does have an attraction to her at that time. Now, keep in mind that we have progressed from 2022 to 2025. Okay. In 2025, is the attraction the same? No. And I'm not inferring that. What I am saying, though, is that he is attracted to her in the way that he is perverse in his nature. And that's the reason why she's been able to have this much influence over him all this time. That's what I'm saying. That is what I'm saying. Boys Nana said he thought she had money. Now he knows the truth. Don't we all know the truth? Indeed. Indeed. Minding my business said, "You're out when you're out, hun." Shirley Strawberry. Yes, indeed. Dion's break said you could be attracted to someone for 30 seconds. Look, obviously he had sex with her multiple times. I mean, so yeah, I mean, did it? But again, has it waned in 2025? I believe so. I don't think he's still. I think that his mind is not even on that right now. Like he's so scared from all the discovery and everything his lawyers have been telling him that I don't even think that him liking Sonya is a priority for him anymore. Honestly, I mean, I think everything has kind of shifted. Everything is kind of shifted. JMM55 said Nesto is snapped at the hen. He doesn't want her to stop calling, so he puts up with her flucked up in the head shenanigans. Exactly. Exactly. He snapped on her. He snapped on her once. I think once, or twice. I think I've heard him snap on her maybe 3 times. 3 times I can think of. William Pryor, thank you so much for the super chat. Says, remember Nesto met Sonya when she was flat chested. Exactly. Exactly. Flat chested is when he met her. Flat chested is when he was having all the nasty business in the back of the RV. So yes, absolutely, that was it. Thank you so much for the super chat, William Pryor. I appreciate that. DC Lively said only had sex twice. Not according to Sonya. Not according to Sonya. If you listen to Sonya, it was a few times. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's what she said, and then said that she didn't say. Let's listen.
They can't even say anything because when she went in court, if he gets the transcripts and read the last transcripts from court, she trying to say they had a dead end because the girl didn't say anything to anybody and do anything. All thing she did was come in and make a statement. So there is no investigating past that.
And that's it.
That's it.
They're working on giving me that. So, yeah. I didn't break my foot today. They x-rayed me today, so I didn't break it. So, the bro, they've been giving me medication, so that shit working.
What you do? You tore something?
I hit it. I tried to hit it when I was asleep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You know, you be fighting somebody in your sleep?
No, I've never fought nobody.
Yeah.
No, I never fought nobody in my sleep.
Yeah, well, that's a good thing for you. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. And I told him to have Merry Christmas. He said, no, I'm coming back to see you for Ian. So that's another week. So he'll be back.
He said he'll be back in a week. Let me look on them. And they don't talk to your other attorney at all, do they?
No, they're not dealing with that. You've been lying the whole time. That's what I'm trying to say.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I know. He's been fully system day one. That's why you need to fire him so you can go to the bar association if Silas Silver's going to get some.
Yeah, I know.
But he's not going to do any of the homework that's needed to fight the case. He's not going to.
No, not like these folks here did. They did do that. I mean, it's my first time ever seeing an investigator. He broke down who he was and everything. So, and he ain't young either. So that's good too. And he has his own business, so I like that.
Okay, you sure can.
Yeah, I'm talking like that for today. I ain't say forever.
Right. You know, they come in, they say this, that, and the other, and then they fall right back out.
Yeah.
With them, you didn't even.
Delicadale said, how do you know she was flat chested? Because endowed women don't get breast implants. I mean, we're talking about before the breast implants. So, I mean, if you look at, and honestly, Delicadale, if you look at her stature before she got breast implants, I mean, like, if you look at her stature, even with the breast implants, when she walks away and look at the way that her body is actually built, she doesn't give that she was endowed. And if you are endowed, why would you get the breast implants? So the natural inference is that if you get breast implants, that you got them because you were not well endowed. So I mean that's why we would say that. And Delicadale, remember when she described herself, she admitted that she was flat chested her whole life. So just putting all those pieces together is how we came to that conclusion. Shady said her saying that he told her to go back to the back of the bus and take her clothes off, uncover some of his tactics with his victim. She talks way too much. Shady, and that's what I'm saying. When they say things like that, they believe that those things are innocent and that those things don't actually mean anything. So again, when your lawyer tells you to shut the fuck up, He's telling you that everything you're saying means something, because whether Sonya wants to admit it or not, she is a part of that case. She is a part of the case. Like him messing with her while he's married contributes to the fact that he doesn't mind being a cheater, a bigamist. It all ties together. And so when they say things, they really don't think that those things matter. And everything that they're saying on all of these calls absolutely matters. It does. The woman he chose says, where does Sonya get her logic from? Out of her long back. That's where she gets it from. Out of her long back. JMM55 said, yep, he said he was the first to see the new biddies. Did Nesto push that diaper to the side and get some? That is gross, JMM55. But they say he nasty, and that's probably what he did. Okay. Make It Rain NYC, thank you so much for the super chat. Says Nesto also thanks Sonya for letting him be the first to test drive her new implants. Right. Yeah. Yep. They were new breasts. Oh man. Tamara said she had to get her titties done. Yes, she did. She did. Yep. William Pryor said, she said I look like a boy. So yeah, so that's how we know she was flat chested, because she told us that she was flat chested. So yeah. Beanne said, right now, Sonya is just for survival, but she does a horrible job at feeding him positive emotions. He knows she has nothing going on with her life. And it's so crazy, Beanne. When you go back to the 2022 calls, right? It was nothing but business, meeting, business, meeting. I got a meeting over here, business. Mickey Howard wants me to open a restaurant, and I got business. This person's calling me. This person's calling me. And Nesto is, like I said, these people don't know each other. So Nesto is listening to this, and he's saying, oh my God, she's got all this stuff going on. And then listen at how the calls gradually, especially when she gets to Atlanta. The Atlanta calls are less busy, less businessy. I mean, she tried to make up some shit. She was trying. I looked at some properties. I saw this. I called this number. But it decreased from those 2022 calls. Those 2022 calls had her sounding like she was the next businessy businesswoman, right? But now, Beanne, all she talk about is the baby. Little measure is all she talk about now. The baby woke me up. I was asleep. I got to get the baby. I'm babysitting. I'm baby. Now it's baby. Baby, 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 baby. Baby, 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 baby. That's all it is now. It ain't no business. It was businessy business. And now it's baby, 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 baby. I want my baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back. I mean, it's the whole thing. All she want to talk about is baby now. At one point, it was business, and now it's baby. She has nothing going on. And she never has had anything going on. Okay? Because the titties were new. So Delicate Dale, what I'm saying is that, like, when they met, she didn't have the titties, is what I'm saying. Delicate Dale said, no, that's not what I mean. How do you know if she was flat chested when they met? Because when they met, she hadn't had the titties yet. She didn't have the titties. So the titties came later, and then he touched the titties for the first time. That's what I'm saying. That we confirmed that when they met, she didn't have the new titties. The new titties were new. So that's what I'm saying. So there's that. William Pryor, long back. She got a long back. She can't pull nothing out of ass. Okay. William Pryor said there are pictures of Sonya with the flat chest. Yeah, they were new. They were new to him, right? Shay B said her negativity is draining, right? Chick-fil-A gal said measure Ali Holyfield. Oh man, Make It Rain NYC said Nesto don't want to hear nothing about it. Sure don't. He sure don't. That's it. Chick-fil-A girl said, and eat fries in his face all day as well. Look, Chick-fil-A girl, when she on the phone eating, and knowing this man cannot have French fries Knowing this man, and she be in his face eating. I don't know. I don't know. I just don't. Mimi said, he said, thank you for letting him be the first to touch them. Yes, indeed. The first to touch them. Yep. Jane said, I think that's another reason that she may be afraid of getting him out. He'll see that everything was a lie. Jane, he know everything is a lie. He know everything is a lie. Even Nesto know everything is a lie. There have been so many calls where Nesto was like, do this business, do this, do this, do this. And it's been happening. Look, we are at 2025 right now. We are at 2025. Ain't nothing open. Ain't no plans been approved. She ain't got a business loan. She ain't got a building. She ain't got nothing, Jane. And Nesto knows that. You know why Nesto knows that? Because Nesto was pocket watching. Nesto trying to see if she got money to get him a new lawyer or to put money on his books. Nesto is trying to use her, and there is nothing to use. And Nesto has figured it out. Even with his slow ass, figured it out. Mm-hmm. Boho Hobo says, I noticed that too. On brand for a narcissist to proudly talk about and eat food around someone in jail. What in the hell? That is so, like, I promise you, there are so many reasons not to talk to Sonya, and that is one of them. That is absolutely one of them. Chick-fil-A girl said, Nesto be like, those fries sure look good. Those the good ones. It is cruel punishment. It is. It is. BN says she was trying to reflect on his IG page what he likes. Right. Right. Exactly. Exactly. Joseph Bullet said, pull them huggies to the side so he can slide. Oh my God, Joseph Bullet. Oh my God, Joseph Bullet. Joseph Bullet. We can't. No. On this fine Sunday, Joseph Bullet has gone to the furnace, y'all. No, it's okay, y'all. Look, Joseph Bullet has been in the furnace a lot. Okay, so don't cry for Joseph Bullet. He's fine. He is fine down there. Okay, all right. Mary Willis said, "Eating those fries killed me. It killed him too." Okay, it killed him too. Trust me. Shay B says, and she will ask him, "What did you eat today?" Fool, he ate jail food. Exactly. Exactly. Bevy C said he admitted that he will never be faithful to one woman. He did. Several times, actually. Several times. Sonya's Boo says, I'm going to do it on Monday. Right, exactly. EK said when Nesto told Dre and Dion them folk crazy, he said that with his whole chest. I don't know what that means, EK, but yes, he did say she was fucked up in the head. Okay, oh, no, she's cuckoo. What he said, EK? She's cuckoo in the head or something like that. But yeah, he meant that. He meant that. He knows something is wrong with her. He absolutely knows that something is wrong with her. He does. Hey, Texas Toy, how are you doing today? Hope you are doing well. Casino lady said he missed that good old putty cat. Yep, that's what he said. I can't imagine. Ugh, I can't imagine. Sonya's Boo says she already upgraded from the scooter to the 2-seater. It's a damn shame. That is a damn shame. Make It Rain said he ate a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and she eating fries. Eating fries. All right, y'all. Let's listen to some more.
Asked when he was talking about when he said, talked about me. He didn't talk about me, did he?
No.
Because when he sent me that thing saying that stuff, you're a potential witness. I'm like, to what? I wasn't in town.
That ain't it. They just trying to say you cleared it. That girl. That girl. That's all they saying.
He kept saying that girl.
You know what it is. The girlfriend, man. There you go. You acting like somebody else now. The girlfriend. The girlfriend is planted in everybody's head. You a girlfriend.
You said the girl?
It's
But I'm doing something while I'm listening to you, that's why.
who?
I was doing this, we're looking at stuff up while I'm talking to you. everything's at as things feel. Everything looks the same, but I'll open them up. 11:17. That was when she did a leave of absence. And then you did a response letter on the 13th. That was all on that one. Order. But when you went to see that black judge, nothing on that. Other than your letter was the last thing filed.
Oh, now I know what the movie you're talking about. He's talking about what I had wrote to. That's what he's saying.
That letter you wrote?
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
Mm-hmm. That was on the 13th, on the 14th, 17th. Absence letter, nothing on that.
It's the letter. Mm-hmm. It's the letter, y'all. Indeed. Let's see what this letter says. All right. Do y'all mind if I read this? Do y'all mind if I read this? All right. I'm just saying. Okay. All right. Let's see. Let's see what we got here. Okay. All right. Dear Miss Shay Alexander, how are you? And I hope this letter reaches you in good spirits. I requested several times for copies of all my warrants as well as my probable cause hearing. Here is the date of my probable cause hearing, September 14, 2023. Also, here are all the case numbers I had the hearing on. If it is any way possible, could you send me a copy of all my warrant and transcript when I went to my preliminary hearing? Also, I went to court date on 7th of October 2023 for my bond hearing. Can I get a transcript of that as well? No question mark. I've been in incarcerated for 11 months. I had 3 lawyers, 2 public defenders, and all of them have failed by the wayside. Failed by the wayside. They ain't fall by the wayside. They failed by the wayside. The DA have been adding charges and dropping charges, as well as they demolished my family and livelihood by leaking all of my phone call conversation out to the public. So I am forced to defend myself the best way I can. So, Ms. Alexander, I'm begging you to send me document as requested. I am an innocent man, and I still have not even been indicted. So I'm begging you to please send me what I need to get my life back. I have been everything, but I have God. In the name of Jesus Christ. And hold on, let me hold on. In the name of Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Be blessed. Not blessed, y'all. Be blessed. Okay? All right? This man said, and I want y'all to understand this, okay? Jesus Christ, right? Why white people say Jesus Christ? And he put it in his life. Jesus Christ. Okay? All right. Listen, y'all. This man said that he has been forced to defend himself. Okay? Now, here's the thing. His lawyers want to know if he's trying to defend himself. He said, I don't know what he's talking about. I don't know why I say, do I want to defend myself? But he just put in this letter, which was written by somebody else, okay, that he is forced to defend himself. I mean, you literally just told these people that you got to defend yourself. Okay? Jesus Christ. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. I don't know who wrote this for him because I doubt very seriously. I mean, I doubt very seriously that Nesto could write this clearly. Okay, I really do. I really do. Um, but you exchange all kind of things for favors in jail. You do. You do. Maretta said, "Forced by who?" I mean, you know, forced by the people to defend himself. He's been forced. He's been forced. See, Maretta, let me explain to you what he's saying because I understand that this makes no sense. But what he's saying, if you look at the sentence before that, okay, he's saying that by leaking all of his phone calls, right? Because see, in this letter, and this is why Shay Alexander probably didn't take this shit seriously because Shay Alexander understands the way the Freedom of Information Act works. He's saying he's forced to defend himself because the DA's office has been leaking his phone calls. That's what he really believes because that's what Sonia told him. So he's saying that because of that, he has to defend himself by speaking out on these leaked phone calls, which is unnecessary. It's completely unnecessary, but that's what he really believes. So, it is absolutely asinine and absolutely crazy, but he just wants look, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, Iretta. He just wants you to be blessed. All right? He just wants you to be blessed. Not blessed. No, no, no. He wants you to be blessed. Okay? So just try to be blessed. All right? That's all we can do. Just try to be blessed. That's all we can do. All right? Let's listen.
But he did see your interview.
Yeah.
243 is closed. 59 is just a letter from you. That's that. That's basically the last thing or everything other than the leave of absence letter. That letter. Nothing's been filed or anything other than that. The letter last month was the last thing. But then we said you had a hearing coming up?
No, I didn't say that. He said that they come see me before Christmas, and they working on it right now to get me out of here. Yeah.
Ding, 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 ding.
That's what they say now. That's what they
I know. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
Yes, hope.
Trust me, you're in good hands. That's what, yeah.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Okay. As long as they believe you're innocent and they fight for that and stop thinking for six plea. That'd be the problem.
Yeah.
Let's just take it. No. You got too many mistakes going on with these situations.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're right, because he's old and she's new and young. So maybe he
Right.
back her up. 17 hours ago, they released a phone call from September 8th. Now she's backtracking.
Yeah, that's what he said too. He said 17 hours ago. He did say
that. Yeah, that's who he needs to.
September. That's last year. This year.
No, this year. Science is just Nestle's first wife, never sent certificate. I never suggested that. He's so stupid. Can I suggest something I don't know nothing about? That's 57,000 views. That was 9 days ago. 18 hours ago, she released another video with you and him, your son, talking about calls being on YouTube. That was 18 hours ago, and that was 17,000 views. And then 3 days ago, somebody released that you have a bad mouth remark on women and Steve Harvey. That's when I recap videos. That's what that shit is, when they listen to something they want to discuss it, because they just Tasha K interview. Oh, yeah. Shirley Nesto. Trade is Team Shirley. That was 9 days ago. 14,000 views. That's when they did. She got 18,000 views when she released the damn shooting. How the people say if you can file something with YouTube, that'd be wonderful.
Hey, you know what's going on. Yes, you know what's going on.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Especially since it's an ongoing case.
What?
Since this is an ongoing case, and they shouldn't be reporting anything.
We're not reporting anything. It's so crazy how they don't understand the difference between Native Tribe Urban Media and CNN. They don't understand the difference between the V. Lenore Show and MSNBC. They don't understand the difference between Legacy Moon, True Crime and Mysteries, and Fox News. We're not reporting anything. We are commenting on calls that were legally obtained by phone calls from prison. That is what we are doing. And we are lawfully allowed to have an opinion about what you all are saying on these phone calls. If you have a problem with the phone calls, stop making them and stop talking on them. Stop trying to prove that you are a badass in court or that you are some sort of badass shadow paralegal that has all this law knowledge. Just stop doing that. Okay? Because I'm not a reporter. I say it all the time. I am in no way trying to be a reporter. Now, what do people consider this to be media? Yeah, I've named my channel Native Tribe Urban Media. But media does not equal news, you idiot. Media can be a lot of different things. When you watch a movie, you are watching a form of media. Look up the definition. Some of us already have. Okay? So media does not equal news. I can sit here and talk about whatever I want to. The fact that it is on a platform that is accessible electronically makes it media. Period. But these two don't seem to understand the difference. There is nothing that YouTube can say to me about what I am saying about you. There's nothing that your lawyer can say to YouTube that would make YouTube say something to me about what I'm saying about you. Obviously, that's the case because I myself and other content creators have been doing this now for a very long time. I'm just saying. It's kind of, the logic is so dumb. The logic is so dumb. Salt and Pepper Tressa says to say one of his scams was supposedly helping people with their social media presence. He knows nothing about how social media works, right? And that is a scam. If you believe that this man could help you with social media and he don't even understand how YouTube works. The only thing I think Salt and Pepper Tressa, the only thing I think he really understands is Instagram. I think he has a grip on how Instagram works, but other than that, I don't think so. I don't. Let's listen.
They can do anything they want after the fact, but it doesn't jeopardize it.
Exactly.
It's while it's up and running, everything needs to be taken down.
Exactly.
That's why our stuff that I put, the 3 that I put up were very, very boring, but we knew exactly that, look, we were putting out nothing. And I want it to be boring so they could be like, oh, this is a dead end. This ain't going nowhere. Let's stop listening to this stuff, you know? But no, they're still going strong.
No, they're going to keep going strong until that paperwork get on.
Yep. Because they keep reinventing shit. That's the thing. They keep running. They'll replay something and try to go back through something and reinvent.
It don't take number one. It don't take number one. Get some paperwork, and that's all it takes.
The dumb one who put up all my information, she said she released 3 days ago. Shirley Strawberry's husband is big mad at social media blogger.
What? He said I'm a bit mad.
Big mad at social media blogger. Of course. Wait, picture y'all playing him to be. Who wouldn't be mad? Y'all talking mad shit. Calling this man all kind of disgusting names. What you expect? Happiness? Open arms?
Yeah.
He's supposed to be mad.
Yeah.
On your uncut, sipping tea and reading comments. I'm just reading comments and talking world news. Well, you know, I always say we should worry about the war and not this little simple stuff.
They got that on it?
I'm trying to tell you that they are dissecting and trying to read that any type of thing they can on this. Anything on this.
Wow.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
That's
Well,
anybody in Sonya. Shut up. You won't believe where I found on Sonya. Receipts coming soon. Man, they so stupid. But anyway.
All right. Well, that's sent to you. So.
Huh. I'm gonna call the attorney. I'm gonna do that right now. Right there. Right here.
Okay.
But I got the text message with the information on it.
Okay. All right, cool.
All
All
right.
right, you have a good day. I just want to let you know that I got to cool out. I got to. All that I can do now is let the new people do what they do. This other sit for a minute because the time is in. But cause I told him, I had no folks that said me for 5 years. He said, no, we're not gonna let you sit like that.
No, because they know it's bullshit case. It's a bunch of freaking lies.
So, but I know once the other thing that them new folks, what they gonna do, and then they put that paperwork out there, like old boy did, man, things will change. Yeah. So, and that takes like 2-3 days so they can get their facts together, and then they file.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Bye.
I love you too.
Look, I know this might be a nitpick, but I want y'all to realize that this is when I say that Nesto don't love nobody. Like, I love you comes out of him just out of like habit. Like if you listen to the end of this call, he goes, "I love you too." She didn't say "I love you." So they both kind of do that sometimes where it just comes out. Like there's no real, like Nesto doesn't have any real love for Sonya. And I think it's kind of funny that at the end of the call, he goes, "I love you too." But it's out of habit. It's not out of like expressing love. It's just because he's so used to her saying it that this is the end of the call and this is how we end the call. Not that I actually love you, not that I actually have love for you, but just that this is how the call ends. Dr. Charles said, listen to how she's enjoying being mentioned on YouTube. She does. She loves that attention. She does. CJ say, Native, what Nesto meant by a white woman's body is big chest and no ass at all. Yes. Yeah, I mean, I get it. But here's the thing, CJ. How is that a compliment? Or how is that a flex? Like, I get what he's saying, but it sounds like that wouldn't necessarily be a compliment. I'm just saying. I mean, if somebody said to you, CJ, that you got a white woman's body, I'm just saying. I mean, it doesn't sound like the best way to describe somebody. Dem folks says Sonya is the only person immediately convinced that the case has to be lies years later, and I'm still floored by her conviction. Well, convicted she is. Convicted she is. Jennifer says he does that often and it burns me up. Yeah. Yeah. I love you too. I love you too. Deion Break said it's not genuine. It's really not. It's really not. Sweet Peasy said, I agree. Native, he loves himself. I don't think he loves himself. I literally don't think he loves anybody. Like, I don't even think he got love for himself. I think Nesto's self-esteem. Like, when we listen to Sonya and Nesto, Sonya ain't the only one with low self-esteem. Nesto has his self-esteem is in the pits of hell. So I don't even think he loves him. I mean, honestly. And again, I'm just going about what I hear. Nana and Nene 336 says they both are stupid. She thought he had money and he thought she had money, but in the end they both are broke. she got the attention all right. Clown. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Texas Toy said, white woman's body and white woman's hair, two things I never wanted, but some people swear we do. Yeah. 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 Some people think that's a compliment. I don't know. Joseph Bullet says she's not trying to help Ernie. She's just pissed and wants to silence the YouTube community because we are on her sorry ass. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? Hey, Joanna AW, how are you? Thank you so much for being here. Let's listen.
Please hold. Hello, this is a prepaid call from
William Pryor.
an inmate at the Cobb County Adult Detention Facility.
To accept this call, your current balance is $7.06. This call is from a correction facility and is subject to monitoring and recording.
Thank you for using Global Tellink.
Hello?
You sleep?
No, I've been up since 5.
What?
Been up since 5. So look, the attorney reached out to me.
Which
He
one?
said he ran into the one you want. Said he ran into your attorney today. The one that sucks, right?
Uh-huh.
Wanted to know what was going on. Should have made the move that already. A lot is not right with this case. So he said to me, what's going on with Nesto? Have they still not indicted this case yet? Just saw Lewis and thought about y'all. And I sent him what he told you to do, right? With that negotiation of a plea and all that and the other, right? I said he wants him to plead to the balance of those cases that he has. He said, why would he plead guilty? And he still have all those other cases.
Exactly.
He said, for that stuff he didn't do. He said, for stuff he didn't do. And I said, exactly. He said, waive an indictment bails the state out from having to present it to the grand jury. He said, wow, unbelievable.
Exactly.
I said, Lewis is like he's working for the state. He said, I don't think he anticipates.
No lawyer would say that about another lawyer. Okay? No lawyer would say that the other lawyer, do y'all know like how close proximity these people work? Like these people are literally peers. There is no way that this man would tell Sonya, a complete stranger, that this person that he probably knows, right, knows enough to speak to, that that he's working for the state. That would never happen from a professional. And see, and here's the thing: as Sonya makes this shit up, as she makes it up, she's making it up from the lens of somebody who has never been a professional. If she actually had legal expertise, as she says that she does, then she would know that a lawyer would not talk about another lawyer in that way. But she doesn't. She's never been a professional at anything, and I know what y'all gonna say. Okay, I know what y'all gonna say. She's never been a professional, like a licensed professional. Let me say that, okay? There is no way that a lawyer would say that about another lawyer. And a non-professional would think that that's how they talk about each other, but it's not. And so, but again, Nesto is going to buy anything she says, but there's no way that a lawyer would say that about another. See, Bella, I knew you was going to go there. I knew you was going to go there, Bella. I knew you was going to go there, okay? I knew it. Mm-hmm. Yep. 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 No. Don't y'all. We trying to have we are trying to have a nuanced discussion right here, okay? And here come Bella, head doctor. Okay, all right, Bella. I see you, Bella. I see you. Okay. EK say exactly, just like doctors don't go against each other. Not now, maybe in their private circles, EK, I wouldn't doubt that in their private circles. But as far as like him putting in a document of some sort, whether a text, a letter, or anything, talking about Krell might be working for the state, there's no way in the hell that another lawyer did that. Sweet Peasy say the audacity of it all too much. Right, exactly. BN said, I don't believe anything she's saying. I don't either. But guess who does? Nesto. Nesto believes it all.
Those other cases. He said, who's leaking the calls? And I said, the prison phone company sells them to the bloggers. He said, I know who, or I have my suspicions, but this is weird. They're fighting cases in the media. I said, Fulton's supposed to move them out of Fulton County, but the media's all over the country, so moving it out of Fulton ain't going to do no good. He said, how?
And what lawyer would even think that way? Fighting it in what media? See, again, Sonya believes that YouTube is affecting this case, y'all. This case, let me tell you, moving it out of Fulton County wouldn't do any good simply because moving it out of Fulton County, I mean, it's still going to be a jury pool. It's still going to have jurors. It's still going to, I mean, so what are we talking about? The media is all over the world. Yes, there is media all over the world. Everybody is not covering this case. They're not. There are news stations in Arizona, Texas, Colorado, Utah, Minnesota that don't know who Ernesto Williams is. I cannot stand the fact that they are trying to blow this man's case up, blow his head up, like everybody in the world knows who he is and what he has done. They don't. They don't. Salt and Pepper Trusted says no lawyer would talk about the case of another lawyer to her. Second, no one calls him Nesto but his immediate circle. The lawyers call him Ernest. Right. So all of this is bullshit. At the end of the day, all of this is bullshit. She absolutely is lying. Thank you, Myretta. Moving the case doesn't change the evidence. And a lawyer would know that and would not say what she is purporting that this man said. This is absolutely stupid.
Are they moving out of Fulton? Doesn't make sense. And he said, wow, when I was saying, all the stuff that they're pulling out, all these old articles, shootings, all of the stuff that these bloggers are doing. He asked about who's your appointed attorney, and I told him who the appointed attorney is. He said she should have moved. She should have made a move on that already.
Exactly.
He said a lot is not right with this case.
Exactly.
He said about 5 minutes ago. So, yeah, what is she doing about all that other stuff?
Nothing. I told you what I felt. I told you, and I thought about it. Oh, I didn't call that, and I had to reprocess this shit. No, I'm sitting there, foot hurting, sitting in the chair, looking at the game, and Buddy pulled up on me and said what he said. I'm like, golly.
That's what I told him. I said, it's 4.
I said, golly. Golly. That's what I said. I looked and I said, golly.
People in there, and they all saying the same thing, that she's shaking in court.
Wow.
Yeah.
So.
That's because she's experienced. But they get them out of school with no experience because they don't care. They don't care that you guys get a fair fight. They just
hold on. They get them out of what school, Sonya? Court reporting school? Or are they getting them out of law school? You seem to have left out what kind of school they're getting them from. They're getting them out of law school. They are degreed lawyers at that point, Sonya Waller Durham Jackson III. Something that you are not, by the way. Okay? So Denise Marie says, and a lawyer would know how the calls were being obtained as well. Correct. A lot is not right with this case, is grammatically incorrect, and a lot is not wrong with it. Is wrong with this case is not something a lawyer would say, Denise Marie. Okay, so she doesn't even know how to pretend to speak like a lawyer. A lawyer would not say that. And a lawyer, if they notice that something was wrong with the case, a lot is not right with the case, instead of saying there's a lot wrong with this case. Because see, Sonia can't speak and she can't write either. Okay, it's not just Nesto. So a lawyer would not have phrased it that way, but a lawyer would have also been able to list the things that were quote unquote not right with this case. So there's that. Dr. Charles said she knew they would never have enough money to hire this attorney, so she could lie on him, knowing that Nesto would never have a discussion with him. Correct. That is absolutely correct. Kia Elder 305 said that's stupid. The prison phone company is selling them to the bloggers. She knows that's a lie because her best friend gets the calls too, so just lies for no reason. Right. This is crazy. Them folks said a real attorney would know they aren't discussing all of this at pre-trial. Right. Right. So her framing of this whole letter is so stupid and based on the shit that she thinks she knows. This is crazy. V the one said they lie to each other so effortlessly, and I love that for them. Yeah, me too. I love it for them too. Them folks said just graduate law school and get a job and get a job like that, you'd have to have clerk for at least a year, for at least 1 to 3 judges as part of school. So when she says that, them folks, she acts like they're coming out of Berger College or that they're coming out of cosmetology school or something. But lawyers don't work like that. And again, them folks, if she had any professional experience, she would know that, but she does not. And so she's speaking as a novice on all of this stuff. And she sounds absolutely ridiculous every time she opens her mouth.
Y'all sound clown. That sounds like a clown statement.
It sounds like a clown statement. It does. She sounds like a clown right now. Okay? Absolutely.
Y'all to get some fake fight. That's all it is. That's why they hire them straight out of school with no experience, and then they got to sit there and they put them with somebody in there that maybe got some experience, but they don't qualify. Half the people in there don't qualify to hold those jobs. They just got a law degree.
Yeah.
And they push everybody to just tell them to please, just tell them to please.
I'm just curious, y'all. She said they got a law degree, as if a law degree just comes in the mail like Sylvia's diplomas do. Like a law degree just comes to you just arbitrarily. Like you just have a law degree, just like Everest College, like ITT Tech. You just go get a law degree. You don't have to do nothing. There's no work involved. They just got a law degree, and this is from somebody who dropped out of court reporting school. Okay, all they got is a law degree. That's it. As if it's nothing to get a law degree. Something that she don't have and never could achieve. But all they got is a law degree. That's all. That's all. Okay. Chick-fil-A girl, that's all. JMM55 says no one graduates from any school and be experienced as a person who has done the job for 5 to 10 years, dummy. Right. But all they got is a law degree. That's all. It's so funny how somebody who ain't never did shit can speak down on people that are actually doing shit. That in itself is something.
Hey man, I might be slow yesterday, but I ain't slow today. Not at all. None of that made no sense. Man, I ain't trying to fight. I realized that yesterday. These folks ain't trying to fight for me at all. They lying the whole time. Exactly. Man, dude sitting here and say, man, them folks, I've been here 26 months. I just got indicted 2 months ago. And they have no witness, no evidence. And them folks said, come plead guilty, not guilty. He said, could you ask for me a bond reduction? Yeah, I'll be there in 2 weeks. It's been 3 weeks. Now you go back to court January, guess what? he ain't going nowhere. He ain't, because they're going to say, oh, we don't have no discovery. He's supposed to got his discovery back as soon as he got indicted.
As soon as they got indicted, they supposed to file for it. He was supposed to release discovery, everything they had on him.
Well, guess what? They ain't did it, and they going to ask for it when he go back to court. That's another 90 days. That's exactly what happened to me with old boy. It's the
What a
same
pay.
thing. Yeah,
What
with
a
a
pay.
payload. Yeah.
What a pay.
A bullshitter, though. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, what a bullshitter. So, anyway, to me, I need to be quiet. If I want somebody to defend me, I'm saying to myself, bro, I'm fucked anyway. If nobody ain't listening.
The way y'all defending them, right? What are y'all doing? Because the investigator, they supposed to push. He need to be investigating now because they already know you want trial. You ain't taking no plea. That's what that is.
No,
so you need to prepare for trial because we're not going to take any pleas. So that's all.
That ain't what they saying. They saying that, they're going to hold you into your advantage of being here a little long. No, I don't want. He taught that same. It's like they preach that shit. They got a class for that shit. When you see me a little longer, it's going to be for your benefit. They're going to offer you a plea. I'm not playing with something I didn't do. They just showed goddamn the one of the YCL boys. I was going to.
Well, he's trying to say that because you're going to have time served by the time we go to court because all that little shit is done other.
I'm not doing none of that.
Right. We're not doing that.
Yeah, tell me, let's talk about the other case. I said, man, that ain't no fraud. He said, yeah, that's fraud. That by such a fraud. I said, no, it ain't. He thought I was stupid. No, it's not.
That's what they come in there half-ass believing shit, and they
the thing was that what gave him the impression that Nesto was stupid. What y'all think? What make you think? What was the indicator? I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like, what was the indicator that Nesto was stupid? Huh? Imagine that. Somebody thought Nesto was stupid. Huh? Where'd they get that from?
Got from the phone calls and talking to them. They believe once you get charged, they believe charged. They're not coming in there with an open mind or saying he didn't do it because he said he didn't do it. They're coming in there like, oh, well, he got charged, so he had to do it. No, stupid. I didn't do it. I didn't do what they're saying they're doing. And they're finessing it and making something. If all of that stuff that those girls are saying, well, they're only one-sided, first of all. But it's only, like I said, that's civil, regardless. You fight it out in civil court. It's not a fucking crime. You talking about a crime. Okay, you could say the other stuff because of the nature of those other situations. But once you go to court and you pull all the details out, they're going to know the state was wrong. The police was wrong. Even if the state claimed they don't even have, the police didn't give them the evidence. The police know that shit is old as shit, and they know that stuff, you had no knowledge of that stuff being on your computer, if that's what it was. Because I don't even believe, I don't believe it's a child. I believe they're saying that just to try to be desperate on some shit. And we know that it's older than you had it's older than what you had it for. It's before you even took possession. Because if you can't see the imagery, you know that shit is old. There's no way people are downloading in the last 5-10 years and you can't see the imagery. You must be talking about.
That's not true. Listen, y'all. As somebody who does video editing and works with a lot of different types of media files, I'm going to say, I've said this before, but I don't mind saying it again, okay? What Sonia is referring to is resolution, all right? I can take a movie that came out this year. I just went to go see the Thunderbolts, right? I can take the Thunderbolts, and if I go to a movie theater and I take my phone, okay, and I try to record the Thunderbolts on my phone, and then I put it on the internet, guess what? You're not going to be able to see it very clearly because why? The resolution is going to be too low. I'm taking something that is a high resolution and I'm shooting it on something that is of a lower resolution, and I'm trying to put it out on the internet. So in 2025, it is possible that somebody can take something that has been passed around and passed down. Now, these types of videos often are not shot or are often copies of copies. Okay. When it comes to CP, because it is shunned by the general public, a lot of these things are passed along. When you make a copy of a copy, it loses quality. When you make a copy of a copy, it loses resolution. Because a lot of it is somebody showing it to somebody else. They pull out their phone, they record it, and then they send it to somebody else. That is how this type of thing is generally passed around. So, what Sonya doesn't understand is resolution. No one is going to have CP that is in 4K. No one is going to have CP that is in high resolution, high clear, high definition. That's not going to happen because these perverts do not distribute it in that way because they know that what they are doing is wrong. They still do it, but it's wrong. So what she doesn't understand is that if it's not a clear copy of something, that does not make it old automatically. And the fact that she doesn't know this and explains what she's explaining to somebody else that doesn't know this is absolutely ludicrous. Salt and Pepper Trust says, when she says imagery instead of images, I cringe. I'm sure you do. I'm just saying. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Texas Toy said, their argument for the theft by deception is never that he didn't do it. Never. Never. She really does need to stop talking on this damn phone. I'm telling y'all.
Off some shit off of Betamax or some video recorder. Back in those days. I know you don't know nothing about computers, but I'm saying that's how old the shit is. And they know it. And so for them to sit there and ask for an $800,000 bond on something they know for a certainty that you didn't know you possessed, and that shit's probably adult is from what the description shit is. It's adult. It's not fucking children. That's a whole nother lawsuit because they went in there knowing that shit was wrong. And then you're going to ask for an unreachable bond, $800,000 on some shit that was old as hell. You knew I had no knowledge that I could have possessed that shit because it was probably so dormant in that computer. How'd you get it? It wasn't something where you just clicked and it opened. That shit was laying somewhere dormant in that damn computer. So I didn't have knowledge of that shit. And you purposefully gave me an $800,000 bond off the shit.
Easily provable. They can prove when it was accessed. They can prove how many times it was accessed. So nothing is actually dormant in a computer, dummy. That's not the way computers work. And obviously she has no clue how computers work. Kia Elder says, there is no way I'm fighting for another woman's husband so hard. She strokes his ego and talks to her like she's a second-class citizen. There are so many angles to this story. Right. Totally. But she goes to bat. She goes to bat. Sonya's Boot says, but he was going to help with people with social media. Correct. Say J said, how do you know this? Have you seen it? You sound like you have firsthand knowledge. She don't. This is how she talks about everything, Say J. She said that Disney bought the Bible, and she said it in the same exact tone. Let's listen.
So, and man, so what is he going? What he?
I don't know. That was the last thing he said. That was 5 minutes ago. So I just said we need to get that listening out. That's all it is. I said I'm still working on trying to get the fee.
Okay.
But he said, why did she try to release that other stuff? That property.
Right.
You got to sign a property release form for Fulton County.
I can't do it from over here. I done tried all that, and I done even wrote them folks in this thing. They already told me where it's supposed to be at. But I can't get nothing done after they done ship me over here. So the only thing now is I need to send me.
So I need to go up there and
get the. I need you to send my numbers. I'm not trying to cut you off. Because I don't want to forget. I need to send me all them numbers that you got.
Those phone numbers?
Yeah. Send me all them numbers so I can get them people when they come back.
I gave it to him. He got the numbers. She got the phone numbers, but I
Man,
couldn't see.
them folks ain't did nothing, man. Them folks told
Yeah,
me
they got him. I gave him the phone numbers. I
they
gave them
said
to a
they
month
can't do
ago.
nothing.
They said they what?
They can't do nothing. There ain't nothing he can do. His hands. Man, you know what? I'm just so sick of these motherfuckers, man. Cause I'm gonna have my mouth. Cause he got my letter. That's how he got here. He got my letter.
Mhm.
He said I'm doing some whatever he said I'm doing. But no, I'm writing everybody. I'm writing everybody.
Mhm. Mhm.
That's what I've been doing. So I can't trust that shit. Come on, cause it makes no sense. None of that makes no sense. All that shit's supposed to be released. All this shit's supposed to be gone.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, yeah. Well, that's what's going on then. That's what's going on. That man ain't did nothing for me. Nothing. Nothing at all. Everything that I thought of, you done thought of, that shit's supposed to have been handled. Because it's in the law book. It's supposed to have been handled. It's legal, not illegal. Legal.
Illegal, not illegal, legal. Who talks like that? Listen, y'all. I just I find it so weird that he says everything that I've thought of and everything you thought of should have been handled by now. I don't think. I think we know Ernesto is slow, but here's one thing I think is really, really, really telling. I don't think Ernesto. I think he has a comprehension problem. To be very specific about what's wrong with him, I don't think he understands because I am almost positive that when it comes to the things that he thought of, she thought of that was legal, not illegal. I'm pretty sure the lawyers explained to him why that it was nonsense. I can't see the lawyer just saying, no, we're not going to do that and leaving it at that. I am positive that if you study law, went to law school, got a degree, and you spend and your career is defending people, right? You're defending people. That there is no way that if they bring you an idea, a concept, and a question, that you just answer it in a closed-ended way. I am almost positive that they told him all of these things. And he just can't comprehend what they said. I really do think that's what it is. I really, really do think that that's what it is. Joseph Bullitt said it's always somebody else's fault. It is. It's always somebody else's fault that they're just not doing it. They're not defending me. They're not, it's always that. Instead of just saying like, Sonya's on some bullshit and I need to stop talking. Which, by the way, he still is talking. Okay.
Right.
I don't know what this. If you heard that phone call what Dion supposed to have said, I don't know what that is. What's so important about that shit?
Huh? He spoke on something Dion said.
Yeah, that's how I know when the date came out, 17 hours ago. So I don't know what that's supposed to be.
I didn't listen to that. I don't be listening to the calls. I'll listen to like 6 seconds of it, but I don't listen to the calls.
Yeah, because it ain't nothing. It ain't talking about my case. It ain't talking about none of that. It definitely ain't about that. Yeah. So it ain't none of that. To me, it's just saying the world trying to turn. They're already trying to get me. They're trying to turn you against me.
Yeah.
Trying to flip-flop. Oh, she probably ain't got herself together. Oh, all of them.
They're trying to turn you. Why he said yeah? They trying to turn yeah against me. Yeah. I have no idea why he talks like that, man.
Oh, maybe she's engaging too much. No, the truth is the motherfucking truth, and the motherfucker don't want to hear the truth. They don't want to hear the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
they just not used to somebody fighting for somebody. That's what that shit is. It's just new to them. That's all. Because most families fall off, and then they just when they deal with people, it's usually people that don't have nobody.
You're absolutely right.
So they like, oh, this is just too much. She's doing the most. So that's a person's life. it's amazing how people just don't know how to put themselves in somebody's shoes and just understand this is a fucked up situation, and any help is good help.
That's a lie. Any help ain't no good help, you dumbass. That's why his ass is finna get some more years because of you. Look, we do put ourselves in other people's shoes, Sonya Waller, Durham Jackson III. We put ourselves in Gail Bickham's shoes. We put ourselves in Shirley Strawberry's shoes. What we're not doing is putting ourselves in Nesto's nasty ass shoes because we don't know where the fuck them shoes been. Okay? Look, I'm not going to put myself in Nesto's shoes because, see, Nesto, with his 19 cycles, decided to spend his whole life. I want y'all to think, when I say 19 cycles, this man is just now 60 years old. Do you all realize how much time this man has spent in jail and in prison? He has not even given himself time to adjust to the real world. 19 times is a lot of times to be put in handcuffs, y'all. You see what I'm saying? Like, and we're supposed to believe, or you want me to put myself in Nesto's shoes, and we're supposed to believe him and him only. But I know people like his alleged victims. I know women that have been through the ringer with Negroes like Nesto. So I do put myself in other people's shoes. I put myself in those people's shoes. I have been scammed before. So I put myself in the shoes of anybody else that's been scammed. I'm not going to put myself in the shoes of the predator. I'm not going to put myself in the shoes of the monster because I can't fit monster shoes. However, because I can relate to the people that he's done these things to, I can put my feet in those people's shoes because I've worn those shoes before. Mary Willis said those shoes are called victim shoes. Exactly. See, and I've known people that have been affected, traumatized by people like Ernesto Williams, traumatized by people like Earl Lamont Dunbar. Okay? So, yes, it is a fucked up situation, but it's a fucked up situation for those people that are on the other side of those charges. Those people that you and infamous Sylvia have a tendency to forget exist. But it's going to come back to the light. It's going to come to the light. Okay? Trust me when I tell you, Will Wooten going to bring it to the light. All right? You can believe that. You can believe that. Jet Black Straight says, Sonya, you don't know when the lives are over, we all go to our when the lives are over, we all go back to our lives. You're trying to convince the wrong people. Right. Right. And it's not working. Sonya's Boot said, you fighting for him, let me fight my own battle. Correct. William Pryor says, dumbest thing I've ever heard. Any help is good help. Who says that? Who the hell says that? That's just dumb. Any help is good help. Stupid ass.
So yesterday,
The whole narrative is, and I got that across when I did that show because it changed the narrative. People kept saying, "Oh, he's a this, he's a that, he's a this," and then that came out, and then the second blogger was like, well, "We can't say that because that's not true, and we can't say that either because they didn't even indict him." So, and I was like, "That's."
Say what, Sonya? I hate that this heifer can't speak in complete sentences. We can't say what, Sonya? Damn. Oh, Lord. Let me listen. Let's listen.
Exactly what I want. I wanted y'all to look and stop just going from that April court hearing and saying, oh, he's this, he's that. Oh, he can't be with animals and children. Oh, what is he? All of that shit. That's what the narrative was. No. Look at the case. That's what you need to do. Read the warrant, look at the case, make it make sense. That's it. Just all. That's all it is. The only thing that's hurt is if you speak on your defense because, they'll use it against you. But other than that, and the only thing I said was, I don't know because he can't talk about his case So I can't speak on the defense side of the case. Only thing I can speak on is what the warrants are saying, which I say that on the phone all the time, what the warrants say. And stuff that's in my opinion with the warrant. And I clearly say that this is my opinion. It's not his opinion, this is my opinion. This is what the warrants are saying. And the warrants don't make sense.
No.
And that's what I say. Even if he had a warrant for that stuff they tried to say that happened with the Calvin dude, which was 2021, that's still no grounds for a search warrant that happened in 22. On top of the stuff that the landlord tried to say, that's still not grounds for a search warrant. Just because you have a warrant in another city, that doesn't give you grounds for a search warrant. And all they said was, oh, it's just cars in the driveway, and I didn't walk through the house and I just saw a little bit of furniture. And then, so even that's not grounds for a search warrant. And that's what I say, and that's what a couple of attorneys that I spoke to said. So that is what it is. It's just, and everybody that I speak to that's on the legal side always say nothing. All of this is some bullshit. They're not.
They always say it, Sonia. They always say it. So every time you see these people, they always say that. They say that always. They always say it. She said, I said, and the other where are these lawyers at? And why have none of them been retained by you, their friend, to represent Ernesto? They say he nasty. They say he nasty. Casino lady says she'll be okay in jail after all she been in prison, a prison guard before, according to her. Yeah, she's been a CO. So there's that. She's fine. She's fine. CJ says he never asked her why can't they represent him because because I think to a certain degree Ernesto doesn't necessarily believe that there are lawyers. I think he's never commented on any lawyer that she says that she knows. So I think he might actually know that that's bullshit. Jennifer says she tells him all this shit that doesn't help him. You talking to random folks. Hold on. You talking to random folks. Giving them your version of events is not helping Nesto. If there was a lawyer, Jennifer, what are the chances that she showed the paperwork, she showed the warrant, and then because my thought is that if she did talk to a lawyer, it would be some skewed version, and it wouldn't have nothing to do with the facts of the case or anything. So I think it's all bullshit to me. Sweet Peasy says I think she deliberately tries to fuck him up by telling him the public's view of him about the case. I don't. You know what, Sweet Peasy? I used to say this about my sister. She was the worst person to deliver news to you. Like, it wasn't even really on purpose. She just didn't know how to deliver news to people. Like you would be. She made everything sound like bad news, and I think Sonia's kind of that same way, where like she just doesn't know how to get it out of her brain, out of her mouth, and put some kind of filter on it. I think that's more of what it is because she don't know what to talk about and what not to talk about. Jennifer said a CO with a felony. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what she was. Keisha Marie said this help her talk till she dizzy. Absolutely, she does. Chick-fil-A gal said, I'm just listening while I'm at the repass. Lord forgive me. Chick-fil-A gal, thank you for listening while at the repass. I hope they got some good food. Tanya B here says exactly why are they not helping? I mean, I'm just saying. Science Booth said, who are these attorneys? We don't know. We never, ever find out who these people are. Luna Brain Fireheart said, the first thing we learn in criminal procedure and constitutional law are the long reach of any warrant. She makes me itch, right? So she's saying, Luna Brain Fireheart, she's saying that there are, if you commit a crime, if you unalive somebody, right, in Cincinnati, and then you go to Detroit, and they got a warrant for your arrest for murder, they can't arrest you on that warrant in Detroit. That's what she ultimately is saying, y'all. And that makes no sense. Because think about it. If that was the actual case, people would be just committing crimes and moving to other places. If that was the way that actually worked, people would commit a crime in Pittsburgh and then move to Compton. And then when they want to commit another crime in Pittsburgh, they go back to Pittsburgh, rob a bank, and then go back to Compton. Because see, in Compton, even though I got an arrest warrant in Pittsburgh, in Compton, if the police pulled me over, I'm safe. That's how Sonia Waller Durham Jackson III thinks that the law works. She is an idiot.
Doing this correctly. He's getting railroaded.
Man,
And
it seems like
it's
they ain't got no end to it.
right. It's like who did he? They're all saying who did he piss off? That's what it is. They're all saying that, which like Trump, like everything that Trump's going through. Trump's going through that because he pissed off people. He spoke on some things. So now they're frying him in New York. They're frying him in Fulton County. He pissed off somebody. So now they're going to play dirty. And that's the same thing they're saying about your case, which is who did he piss off? Because they playing dirty.
But it, so last night I saw on Thug case one of his co-defendants got stabbed in the back. I used to see him every fucking time I went to court room down there because he was changing to his
He got stabbed, actually stabbed?
Yeah, actually stabbed in the back in the jail.
Oh, in Fulton County?
Yeah, this just happened 2 days ago.
Why did they say they stabbed him? Was he talking against him?
No, they all in the same. You know that was, you know how what that shit is.
I know they're all together, but you know how people feel about Thug because of all of the good stuff he was doing when people couldn't get bail. He was bailing people out of jail. You know, he does a lot for the community. So that's why I asked, what was it? Something like
they didn't,
were they mad at him because of that, or was he in there just talking smack and got into it with somebody else?
They didn't say that. They didn't.
I want you to think about he does a lot for the community because he gets people out of jail. Imagine if your child was assaulted, right? And it doesn't have to be a juvenile child. Just imagine if your child, they could be an adult, and they were assaulted by somebody, and that person goes to jail. They're given a bond, and then here comes somebody that pays their bond and gets that person that assaulted your child immediately out of jail, putting them possibly in harm's way again. Is that or is that not helping the community? Because I'm going to say that it's not. Now, that doesn't mean that everybody that's locked up is guilty. It doesn't mean that everybody that's locked up will be a repeat offender. However, I do know that if someone breaks into your house and they are out of jail before you can replace all the things in your house, that doesn't help the community at all. I'm just saying. Now, the way Young Thug could help the community is to help prevent people from feeling the need to have to break into someone's home. In other words, you assist the community by providing education, resume building. You can provide a lot of services to the community that would help the general community not feel like they have to commit crimes to get by. If Young Thug was truly interested in helping the community, there are other things that he could do besides bailing people out of jail. Now, the bail system, I do feel, is very unfair to poor people. I get that. And I'm not saying that it's not. However, I do feel like you're helping individuals and not the community when you do things like that. And there is a huge, huge difference. So I do believe that there is a way to help the community without getting people who have been arrested out of jail. JMM55 says, right, one of my juvie clients did something in Indiana. They came right to Detroit and got his behind out of juvie facility that I had him locked up in for his original crime here. Right, right. And, I just think that look, JMM55, there's a lot of things wrong with our justice system. It really, really is. There's a lot. And there's a lot of different angles we can attack it at. But I just believe that saying that he's helping the community is a little bit of a stretch when it comes to things like that. I'm just saying. Hey, Ms. Lorraine, how are you?
They didn't say that.
They didn't say what it was.
Yeah,
they won't know, but they ain't gonna talk.
Yeah.
They're not gonna tell what.
The bag. They delayed their trial. And I remember seeing him every time I go down there. He be down there with me, and it's the same deal.
Oh.
Yeah, dressing out. But what I'm saying is, I saw that and they delayed the trial But his girlfriend got out there, I love him and this and that. I'm saying to myself, damn, okay then, look a little bit.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. She be whispering it across the courtroom. Yeah, she be going to court supporting her man.
Yeah. Now this ain't Thug. Now this the other guy, his co-defendant, the one with the dreads in his head.
Oh, okay. Well, no, Thug's girl is the one that I be seeing on social media, and they be talking about her when she go to court. Thug's girlfriend. I forget her name. She's a popular chick.
What made my shit so damn special? That makes no fucking sense to me.
That's what I'm saying. But you got these old hens that's messy as shit. I'm trying to tell you, it got messier once them nosy ass people start releasing them jail calls, and now it's just they just doing all kind of crazy shit. Like, why are you releasing all my family's information? You doing all of this background research on me? Like, I ain't no fucking they don't do this for stars. Like, I don't even know this much information. You couldn't tell me what Will Smith's brother looked like. I don't even know if he has a sibling. Like, come on now, really? Y'all doing all of this research, all of this, and the other, for me and you. We ain't nobody.
That's what I don't understand.
And he wasn't really nobody like that big too. You get me? Like,
right.
It was but these are just all hateful black people. We be our own downfall. That's how R. Kelly got caught up. It was black people that did all that shit. White people wasn't thinking about him. It was two black chicks start protesting.
I'm sorry. Did I miss something? Or is all of Nesto's victims black people? All of R. Kelly's victims black people? Everybody accusing R. Kelly and Nesto were black, right? Am I missing something, y'all? Or oh, okay. So it's okay to prey on black people, but it's not okay for black people to talk about the cases, and it's not okay for black people to call the police against those that prey on them. We're just supposed to be forever victims. Is that what I'm getting? I'm just trying to understand where this stuff is coming from, because it doesn't make any sense to me that black people are the downfall of R. Kelly. What the fuck? Are you serious right now? Say says all of their victims are black. Okay, I'm just making sure. I'm just making sure. Okay. I don't understand. I'm having a hard time right now, y'all. But here come Lion Mom. I can always count on Lion Mom to jump down and say something profound. He's right. She's going to court every day to support him, Shannon Stillwell, and he secretly married another woman while locked up. Yeah, that's what happens, right? That's how it be happening. Phoebe said Nesto and Sonya would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for those meddling kids. Look, Joseph Bullet says, so now Nesto is some H-Rap Brown or Bumpy Johnson, religious martyr. So now he's some sacrificial lamb. He always feels that way. He has always felt like that, right? Tanya B here says, so Robert didn't do anything, Slonia. No, according to her and according to Infamous Sylvia and everybody that supports R. Kelly, he did nothing. It was the black people that did this to him. The black people. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the black people. That's how that works in their world.
Testing his concert, then they start dragging him. And then they did that. That Surviving R. Kelly was funded by black people. All of that shit was black people.
Funded by black people. It's a thing called a director. The director was black, okay? And it gave awareness to the victims. Did you watch it, Sonya, or did you not have $12 for that either? I'm just saying. Like, if you watch Surviving R. Kelly, you get the full picture of what happened with these victims. I think the word victim needs to come out of their mouths more than anything else, because they don't understand victimhood and how these people prey on black people, specifically black women. Can we talk about black women? Can we say black women? Can we put black and women in your mouth, please? Because black women, specifically in the case of R. Kelly, black girls and black women. Come to find out, it was a couple black boys too. And then in the case of Nesto, black women. Can we cut the bullshit on this? Please? Thank you.
Black people that
Wow.
like to pick it up and charge the ass. It be black people that be your worst enemy.
Wow.
Black people. Yeah. And they set up that way because if you go all the way back to the 60s and the 70s, 80s, we got along well amongst each other. Right when they started turning that music and doing certain things, and then they got it.
Anybody know when the Bloods and the Crips started? Anybody know when the Bloods and the Crips started? Was that in was that in 2025 when the Bloods and the Crips started? Anybody know when gang activity started in LA where black people was not getting along so swell if you wore blue or if you wore red? Anybody know when that started? Because Sonya seems to forget. The gang activity increased from the 70s to the 80s into the 90s. I'm just giving you that example of how um, she doesn't have a complete picture of history. She doesn't have a complete picture of the 80s. She's one of these people that romanticizes history when it comes to black people. Oh, when Martin Luther King was alive, we all got along. No, we didn't. Domestic violence was at its peak in the 1930s, y'all. Okay? Go look at the statistics because I have. Sonya has not. This romanticizing of black people is irritating because it tells a very incomplete story, and a lot of times it mythologizes our leaders and romanticizes the things that don't need to be romanticized in our history. Sonya does this a lot. Now, why she does this? Because she doesn't know. She doesn't bother to read. She doesn't bother to pay attention. Friday Child says the 80s was the crack era, dingbat. Absolutely. Attitude and Tylenol says some niggas hated Martin. What the fuck is she on? Do you know what Martin Luther King's approval rating was at the time of his assassination in Memphis? Do you know that he was in the low 30s to 40s in his approval rating amongst black people? 30 to 40% approved of Martin Luther King at the time of his death. So you're right, Attitude and Tylenol. You're right. Say J say 1960s. Hell, who remember that scene in Cooley High when the different gangs called each other out in the movie theater? Yeah, exactly. But say J, I bring up the 70s and the 80s because when we talk about Bloods and Crips and we talk about the LA, they were having shootouts on the freeway in LA. I remember that specifically in the 80s. Gangs have been around since the late 50s. But when it got to the point to where the violence ramped up to where it was a public safety issue, yeah, we're talking about the 80s. And Sonya doesn't know that because she doesn't bother to read or research anything that comes out of her mouth. Dion's Break said Gangster Crip, Playboy Crip, Grandfather Crip, because there are about 13 different versions of the Crips. Absolutely. William Pryor says she knows the 80s was the crack era. She was on it. Maybe that's why she don't remember shit. I don't know. Casino lady said, "Oh, that's why she's so out of whack because crack was in the 80s." Right? Exactly. Natasha Razor Glam says she is such a Nimrod. Sonya is 86 years old and knows nothing. She needs to get back. She needs to get off her knees, sucking, and read a book. Too late. Too late. Too late. Carlise Burke says, "Son, you need to read the Marathon. Don't stop to understand the Crips and the Bloods in L.A. and how the police are actually a gang." Right. Carlisburg, there's so much involved in gang culture out in LA. It's a lot. It is a lot. And the history of the gangs and where they came from and how the police interact and how the police actually like provoke a lot of that stuff most of the time. It's very interesting. And a lot of people don't realize that culture is as rich as it is. They just think it's as simple as Bloods and Crips. But there's a lot that goes on behind that. Friday Child said in the 90s, black boys were lucky to make it to 18. It was celebrated if they were Still alive by 21. She does not know anything. Exactly. Do you know how many people, speaking of the 90s, that I know that did not make it to 18? So she can miss me with all this we were all getting along bullshit. She can miss me with that. I know people that died at 16. 16 years old, didn't even make it out of high school. Sad shit. Sad shit. Snowbird says Cooley High is the movie that describes my life living in Chicago at the time. Very realistic. I've heard that it was. I have heard that it was. Salt and Pepper Trust said Bloods founded in the 1970s, Crips founded in 1969. Yep. Yep. Thank you, Mary Willis. I appreciate that. I do. Ramaya Sharon says, my dad talked about the Warlords gang in Detroit when he was a teenager. I don't know what she's talking about. Ramaya Sharon, they had a whole 2 episodes on Good Times. Good Times was in the 70s about gangs. And who were the gangs fighting? Other Black people. So how is any of what she's saying making any sense? She's so stupid. It is ridiculous.
Where white people can sit back and just watch now because we destroy ourselves. They ain't got to do anything no more.
So you definitely got to get that paperwork that I sent to Junior now. You got to get that now.
I'm about to go find him today. I'm about to get dressed and find him because I got to go on that side of town. I'm about to go find him and I'm about to go and try to get that police report for that for that vandalism.
I understand. Yeah.
And I'm gonna go get what else I gotta go get? I got one more thing. And I gotta go by and see about your property.
Okay. So you
gotta see about
stuff down. You got to write this stuff down, what you're doing now, because you're trying.
Because I'm old. You know me. I'm gonna wake up and forget.
Pills.
Forget. Now my phone's gonna ring and I'm gonna forget. That's what that's gonna do.
Oh yeah, that is it. But it's good that Buddy falling. So he didn't say that I did anything wrong though.
No, he's just saying your Lord keep giving you the wrong advice.
Wow.
That's what he's saying. He keeps saying, "Why your Lord?" Just like the other guy that came to see you said the same thing about him.
Yeah. You got to get that. You got to get that paperwork. You got to get that letter that I was speaking to him. Yeah, that's all my proof right there, showing that for that, and then that and the other stuff. Yeah, and I got a backup letter too. So once you get my address, I'll send it to that too. So you have my backup. But yeah.
You need to fire him. You need to fire him and get another attorney, not her. I would ask for another attorney and see, just see, because even if you go to court with him, he's not going to do what he's supposed. He's going to sink you in court. That's all I'm going to say. Just like he laughed back in April in court and thought everything was an effing joke and was just being all playful and stupid in court. He's going to do the same shit. He's fire his ass and just have him give you another court-appointed attorney till I get whatever I need to get this other stuff going, and then just tell him you want all your money back. We just have to we're going to report him to the bar and file a lawsuit against him for all money.
I already told that.
Yeah, for everything. Tell him he's fired, withdraw, and then you just go and just ask for another attorney for those cases. You do not want that same attorney because she cannot handle the workload. She is not fit for the workload. She is not fit for the workload.
Okay, you said it already. Damn,
hopefully the next
for the workload. How many times you got to say it? Shit. Ooh, she redundant and stupid. Boho hobo. Okay, Boho hobo says the dumbest know-it-all I've ever heard, and she says things a lot. She says the same thing over and over again. Very, very, very annoying. Sweet Peasy says broke ass incarcerated wannabe pimp. Absolutely. Lo says I caught another live. Hey y'all, hello Lo. How are you doing? Thank you for coming through. We are almost done, Lo.
They're not gonna put me on the next one. They're gonna put me on the same curse law with her. That's what they're gonna do.
Then you ask
Yeah,
for
right now.
a new attorney on that, all of that then.
But guess what? They
Can't
don't.
get no work for her.
Listen, they don't have. I
The
can't talk like I
manpower.
want to talk. Yeah.
Uh,
Nope. There you go.
they don't have the
Them folks,
manpower.
them folks is overloaded, man. I realized that for real in the last month.
Oh
Them
yeah.
folks, they are overloaded. So,
Yeah.
this dude been in here 5 motherfucking years, and they just picked their shit up. 5 years. Yep. On a motherfucking Rico. So,
5 years.
5 motherfucking years. That man been locked up 5 years on a Rico. Shit crazy. Yeah. So, shit, man, I'm telling you now, this shit is wicked. So, but okay. So, yeah. But that
Call
other
me.
paper, what
Let
you
me
say?
run. Let me get dressed and run where I need to run. And just
All
call
right.
me then.
I love you, bye.
Now notice she didn't say let me take a shower. She said let me get dressed. Okay, I'm just saying. I know it's nitpicking, y'all. Okay, because somebody told me a while ago that they believe that her stank. Okay, and they pointed to the fact that when she get off the phone, she getting dressed. Not one time have we heard her talk about getting into the shower. That's all. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss the next one.
Y'all, we done made it through another one. All right. Shout out to Phone Calls from Prison for providing us with this content that we talk about, laugh at, analyze, and break down. Okay. Thank you, Shay, and everything that you do. We do appreciate you so much. Y'all, Book Nerd says you can't pay for shit. Those other attorneys know this dumb. This is why they don't take the cases. You apparently ain't that great of a you aren't that great of a college to do this for you or in your John. Yeah, look, Book Nerd ain't paying for shit is the part that is the most important. Like she ain't open up her pocketbook, her wallet, her she ain't used her green dot card, she ain't used her rush card. You know, she got the baby fat one. Okay, y'all remember the rush card? You could get the regular rush card, or you could get the pink baby fat one. Uh-huh. Either way, you was gonna have to spend. You was gonna have to be charged for using your own money with the rush card. But irregardless, she ain't used her rush card. Nothing. Just out here talking shit. Okay. All right. Anyway, thank y'all for coming through. This is all I got for you. Okay, I'm done. I'm gonna let y'all go and enjoy the remainder of your Sunday afternoon. I'm going to go get something to eat. Okay, because I'm starving right now. I'm trying to figure out how to stuff a turkey wing in my mind. In my mind, gold mouth, in my mind. So thank y'all for coming through. I do appreciate that. I want to thank my native tribe, the notorious native tribe mod squad. Thank you so much, ladies, for everything that you do behind the scenes. I want to thank everybody that hit the Cash App, everybody that gifted membership, everybody that joined today. All right. Y'all are the real and true MVPs. Okay. Thank you for me. If you want to get some merch, all right. If you want to get your Native Tribe t-shirts, your Native Tribe hats, your Native Tribe candles, yes, you can go to Native Tribe Shop. It's 3 words, y'all. NativeTribeShop.com. All right. Go to NativeTribeShop.com. You can support the channel in that way. You're getting something back for your support. And look, I ain't gonna lie, my stuff is very fashionable. Okay. Go over there. I got literally, I ain't gonna say hundreds, but I do got a lot of designs, a lot of t-shirts, sweaters, sweatshirts, hoodies, all of the above. You'll find it there. Okay. I'm done for the day. I will be back tomorrow with I'll do it on Monday, and we will do that at 8 o'clock Eastern time. I don't know what time that is anywhere else, but 8 o'clock on the Eastern time. Look out for that alert, and I will see you all then. All right. Thank you all for coming out. I appreciate everything. I love you all more than you realize. And I will say this. I don't know who needs to hear this, but you are enough. You are beautiful. Yes, you are beautiful, you are loved, and you are blessed. And there isn't anything that anybody can do about that. Not even you. All right. I will see you all tomorrow. Thank you all for hanging out with me today. And have a good Sunday.